I tend to do that.
All right, cool. We are.
If you do say so yourself.
Thank you. Yes.
It's the kind of confidence you need to start a podcast.
Yeah. So,
5 white guys. Still,
I was gonna make I was gonna make a comment.
Still no minority guest yet. We had a British guy. Does that count?
No.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast where we talk about your favorite format in Pauper and Cube. Now, we're talking about Cube this episode. It is episode
Just
48. Yes. Well, maybe once. Maybe next year again, too. Yes, it's our podcast, What Would You Want? We're talking about Cube. I am your co-host, Cameron Schindler, joined, as always, by 2 lovely co-hosts. Thomas picks me up from the airport, my baby girl, Gunn. Ooh. What is up?
Not too much.
How was you?
I'm good. I almost died on the road earlier today, but
from how?
I was going. The green light came up. I was the first to go across the intersection, and thank God I stopped because someone blew through the red light and would have T-boned directly into my side of the vehicle at like 50 miles an hour.
So Austin and I were driving home from Murfreesboro. We watched a semi-truck merge over into the right lane while there is just a regular pickup truck just doing that, and he had to start driving on the shoulder. Oof. It was just like, wow.
Yeah, no, I could have died. I pulled over and cried for a minute and continued on my way.
Yeah, it's scary.
So, but I'm here. Great mood. Great way to start the
podcast continues. Death, it comes for us all. Also joined by my lovely co-host, who looks just enthused, James Hippo Hieronymus. What's up, brother?
I am here and present and ready for the action.
Ready to rumble? Heck yeah. Any recap?
I'm here for the malevolent rumble.
Malevolent rumble?
The malevolent rumble.
But wait, there's more. Also joined by 2 people. And they're real people. They're not bugs this time.
It's not the cicadas.
Yeah, it's not cicadas.
There's so much lore you don't know yet, Dan.
Returning guest, Matthew, camp counselor, Silly Sentilles. What's up, brother?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. And joined by new to the podcast, who does not play Pauper at all, Dan K. Ridley.
Or really any constructed format whatsoever.
Yeah, you're a limited player by heart.
Yes. 40 cards good, 60 cards bad.
Okay, what if you're playing Yorion? Back to good.
Got him.
Nice, let's go. So we're bringing you 2 on because us 3, me, Dan, and Matthew. Matt, Sentilles, Silly Sentilles, us 3 went to CubeCon this last weekend, and we just had a total blast, and we're like, let's steal our podcast and just recap the weekend. But we wanted to give you a little bit of Pauper taste still, so we're going to go ahead and go through the challenges and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll just blast through these real quick so we can get to the main event and talk about some sweet action over at CubeCon.
Dan, if you Google MTG Pauper meta, MTG decks will pop up, and you can click events, and then you can follow along with us if you would love to. And if you have any questions about the decks, because I know you...
Yeah, feel free to... Matt and Dan both.
Sure, yeah, I got to play your Naya Gates deck while we were waiting for Pod to fire. That was pretty sweet.
Ooh, hell yeah. Oh my god. The Militia Bugler to find Writhing Chrysalis.
Love that you got to play this unplayable deck.
Whoa. That deck is fire.
Ooh, shots fired already.
How many challenge results does that deck have?
Well, I haven't played it yet, so...
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Do you ever intend to play in a Moto challenge? So cool, so it will continue to be...
Can't lose if you don't play.
That's true.
Hippo top 8 like the one challenge. Oh, no,
I got 10th.
You got 10. Okay, that's still awesome. The one you played in.
Rounds to the
nearest. It's the only challenge of Magic I've ever played in.
Yeah, and you're a monster.
Well, I did play Grow Monsters. So
exactly.
There you go.
Dan, did you find the challenges?
I found the...
Heck yeah. So if you click where it says events...
Oh my god. That's all right. We can mostly follow
leagues.
along.
Okay, I see challenge.
Heck yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
The date is...
this is Friday, October 18th.
Thomas, take it away.
41 players in the Friday Pauper Challenge. In 8th place, Galeo Gaio on Mono Red Koldatha. In 7th place, Zuza on Mono Red Koldatha. In 6th place, Brivenex playing Blue Black Fairies. In 5th place, Campo on Gruul Ramp. On 4th place, Tiago Figuete, also on Mono Red Koldatha, a good top 8 for our Mono Red fans. 3rd place, Carves on Mono Blue Terror. In 2nd place, Forrester F on Is It Terror? And in first place with an 8-1 record, Luffy
Do Chapeau de Paula
on Grixis Affinity. Taking a quick gander at the Grixis deck. Looks like we are down to the we're still just rocking the 1 toxin analysis in the main and 2 in the board. We got 4 blue blasts, 4 red blasts like Luffy likes to play. This is pretty stock for Luffy, but we're always a big fan of their innovations. Also, haven't seen Is It Terror towards the top in a while. So very excited to see this. I know Matt has some experience playing this deck.
Not only does he.
Oh, and as does James, of course.
Not only does James.
Oh, and all right, cool. 60% of the people in the room.
Yeah.
Never mind. 40% of the people in the room.
No, spoiler. This is a good weekend for Blue Terror or for Blue Red Terror.
It is a good weekend for Blue Red Terror.
Why do we like?
We'll get there.
Okay. Well, I'll ask questions later.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, cool. We'll breeze through the next challenge here. Saturday, October 19th, we've got 46 players in this Pauper challenge. In 8th place, Alienware on Turbo Fog. This is the blue-green version. In 7th place, Hatariane on Mono Red Koldatha. In 6th place, Nascimento on Glee Combo. This is Jund Glee. In 5th place, Noob on Jund Gardens. In 4th,
I think you messed it up from the beginning. Actually,
no. See, this is the thing. So here's some news that I saw on Twitter. Campo, who is listed technically as first place on this, Campo finished in first place in the Swiss in 5-1, and then accidentally dropped from the event before top 8.
Did not mean to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they were technically in 9th place with a 5-1 record, which is unfortunate for Campo, but you know they continue to crush on the regs. So that's the discrepancy there. There's some background history to that one. So that leaves Carrot Eater in 4th place with Is It Terror? 3rd place, Luffy Do Chapeau de Paula on Grixis Affinity. In 2nd place, FJ Rodman playing Rakdos Madness. And in 1st place with an 8-1 record, WCL on Mono Red Koldatha. We are looking at...
Dan, get used to hearing that name.
Yeah, Mono Red Koldatha.
Luffy Do.
Oh, Luffy? Yeah.
Monster of a player.
We've got 1 Fire Blast, 2 Implements, otherwise just 4 ofs all around, and 1 Escape Tunnel in the land base, just to maybe push your Blast Runner through for lethal, like something like that. You sacrifice it, trigger. Yeah, because you can target it before it pumps itself.
Correct.
Sick.
Is the Percussionist basically a given playset at this point?
Yeah. The Clockwork Percussionist has become a staple in the red list
because it's really nice because it doesn't have like that synthesizer like awkwardness that it can have in this fast of a deck. Like you can always play it your next turn, unlike synthesizer, which is really nice in this deck.
It maintains like all the actual impulse effects instead of aside from synthesizer.
Yeah,
it's like a glove.
Real quick, in the 2nd place Madness, are they playing 4 of Grab the Prize? Like, has that also become kind of a standard, or is that a little more flexible?
Grab the Prize has become a standard. We've also seen
it's not a full play set in this list. It's a 3-2 split between it and Highway Robbery.
This is the first one in a while that's been like that because normally people have been playing the Blast Runner. This list has ditched that. I can't think of the word.
Like, the Tomb Raider.
I
I
work on something.
Construct.
Like if I work on something, improvement. I just can't. The improvement that's Mog's made. The
innovation.
Oh my god! Thank you. The innovations that Mog has made with the Goblin Blast Runners, like this list is
Tomb Raider.
Yes, that one. This list is foregoing those and going back to like the normal list and stuff with like playing a little bit more of the draw spells too. So.
Cool. Well, they were on the LCI Tomb Raider card for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a recent development, just because they have all these naturally occurring artifacts, and just trying to be a little bit more aggressive and grab the prize from Duskmourn, just being like the more aggressive version of the discard a card, draw 2, discard your sneaky snacker, just draw 2, get it back immediately. Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Prior to this newest set that just came out, like they played 0 copies of Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because they're a deck playing Galvanic Blast. They're like obviously prepared to play a lot of artifacts, but they just didn't play the Tomb Raider.
Interesting.
But now that you've picked up Tomb Raider, it's a good card.
This Gruul Ramp list in first is quite cool too.
Campo's list that's technically in 9th.
Oh yes. Yeah. But,
Sorry, Campo.
It says first on my thing, so I'm gonna say first.
Right. Well, I told they. Yeah.
Damn. But congrats in the first place there. Matt and I were talking about this at the airport. We're like, through Rancors. We like seeing that come up. That's like their flex dots instead of you meet in the tavern.
Well, I mean, there's like different options that you can play for all these like trample effects, and that's a cool one because if like they remove the creature, this is a consistent way to give a creature on your board trample.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like overshadows like the Nihilia's Disciple
and it just feels more aggressive. Like if you need to start Arbor Elf beating like a combo deck or something.
That does do that, which is actually pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you get like multiple copies of it too, because it's also a permanent you get hit off of Malevolent Rumble, or Malevolent Rumble.
Matt,
also
you're
nice with the. I was just about to say this with the Shinnin and the sideboard, making everything have to block like I don't know what. An 8/3 boarding party or whatever, and then you still get in for damage.
The taunt effects are pretty sweet in the sideboard. I remember the first week that those showed up. A friend of the podcast, Carson, and I were talking about how good that was, especially if you're playing all these like trample effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Matt, you're a connoisseur of Gruul Ponza usually, but
I'm flattered. Thank you.
Yes, this last week, the week before CubeCon at our locals, you played Gruul Monster, switching it up big time.
Oh yeah.
Did you
really
play?
Deviating.
Did you play like Shinnen's Life Horror?
No, because I didn't have any.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that there were any particular matchups that I would have brought it in, so I can't really say one way or another if it would have been good. But I have been seeing it with some degree of regularity now in the sideboards as like a 2 of.
Well,
so
good news, everyone! I have ordered a set of them.
Good news, everyone! Good news, everyone!
I have ordered champagne.
I have ordered a set of the Shinnin of whatever the card is.
Yeah, you picked a bad week to put away the land destruction spells.
Yeah, because you played against me, and then we went. Then we drew.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the Sunday challenge?
Exactly.
James, I can't wait to hear you talk about a couple of these lists that have appeared in this top 8. We've got 65 players in the Sunday challenge on October 20th. In 8th place, GN42 on Is It Terror? Popping up, Is It Terror? Coming back up. In 7th place, Nascimento, another top 8 with Glee combo. In 6th place, Roger Ziewitz on Turbo Fog. This is a very spicy list. Alongside Noob in 5th place, also on Turbo Fog, which I think is a very similarly spicy. I'll let James take over that one once we get there. In 4th place, Purgatory 01 on Demir Terror. In 3rd place, Bill Sive on Rakdos Madness. In 2nd place, Luffy Do Chapeau de Paula. 3 for 3 on top 8s. This time, with a win in the first one.
Actually,
and 2nd place here. And top 4,
fours.
yeah, 3 out of 3 on top 4s.
That's
a
wild.
Great weekend for Luffy on their trusty Gris's Affinity. And in first place with a 9-1 record, that's 7 rounds of Swiss. Marzaboy on Golgari Dredge. We love this deck on the pod. We've got 2 Gnawed of the Bones in the main. Otherwise, everything is 4 ofs all the way down. We've got the Dread Returns, Malevolent Rumbles, Exhumes, and the full suite of creatures. And it looks like everything in the sideboard is about what you would expect.
There's a couple differences. In the main, they're no longer playing the Acorn Harvest card in the main.
Oh, they've moved it to the board.
We've moved to Malevolent Rumble. That is the de facto like make a creature card.
Yeah.
Also, it helps the game plan.
Oh yeah.
Card's just so good.
Cards.
Malevolent Rumble's insane.
Malevolent Rumble is cracked.
Green Ponder, who
If
knew?
anybody knows, if anybody knows
Ponder.
the lore, you can laugh at my Malevolent Rumble joke. So we've moved up to 4 copies of those. We've moved off of Acorn Harvest in the main completely. We've moved 2 copies of the Acorn Harvest to the board, and we've actually gone up to 4 copies of Ray of Revelation. For those who don't know what Ray of Revelation is, it's an instant for 1 and a white. You can destroy target enchantment, but this is Dredge, so that's not the idea. We're intending to put the cards in the graveyard, and it has a flashback of just green, and it destroys target. So it destroys target enchantment.
I cast that card a lot this weekend.
In your cubes, I
Yep,
assume?
in one cube. I
assume it was
just
old
came up
border
a
cube?
ton. It was old border cube.
Because that card is an old border card. Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, put in an order for 4 of those yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Heck
Sick.
yeah.
So yeah, no, there's some sweet stuff going on here. I'm actually kind of surprised that this is a deck that has picked up some steam over this weekend with the rise of the red deck, because that matchup is kind of hard. I mean,
Sure.
Once you are able to put like the 4 Knot of the Bone in the board post board, that gets a little bit better.
I imagine having 2 in the main definitely helped.
Yeah, I think the last time I played this, this is when like Grixis was like a huge deck, and then Rakdos was like the Rakdos Burn or Madness deck was like a big deck. I think I played 3. 2 seems like an appropriate number right now, and you can board up to 4 post board. So seems good. And then the other deck, I'm sure that you wanted me to take a note of. Was
these
was the
fog
was the fog list.
No, I'm kidding.
The list by RG Wax.
Yep.
Some things that differed from my list that I personally played. I have remedied the situation going forward, but I did not have a darkness, so I played a fog or an extra fog. I didn't have a respite, so I played an extra tangle. Kind of the same things.
It all kind of
does the same
like
thing.
yeah.
So, but I've remedied the situation. I've ordered these cards now.
Dan, are
excellent.
you familiar with Turbo Fog?
Yes, I played one MTGO Pauper League and queued up against Turbo Fog, and
Loved it.
And I decided that I am not playing this format anymore.
Oh, okay.
Did you go up against blue green or did you go against black green?
It was blue green.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is a little bit different. So we actually have ways to kill people instead of the blue
Instead
green
of just sitting
of
there.
the blue green way of just like stalling the game into infinity.
You do that first for a bit. Don't worry.
You do that with both lists, but this one's a little bit different. So the idea is that you have different ways to kill people with this one. This list is also not playing the Nadir's Nightblade like I played. This is just playing Crypt Rats.
Instead of going 001, you go 100.
Yeah, that's what I did. Great plan if anybody's asking. But this is only playing Crypt Rats. No copies of Nadir's Nightblade here. Also, no copies of the Brood-Skull combo in the board, which is what I played as well. We do have 6 Pyroblast or Red Blast effects. That is huge.
That's what stood out to me is
I didn't
in
see
both of
that.
these lists having so many red cards in the sideboard, which
just-
they've done like a couple of Pyroblasts in previous iterations for sure, but this list specifically that you're going off of right now, 2 Red Blast, 4 Pyroblast, and 2 Breath Weapons.
Yes, so that's a huge game. That's like definitely a concession to like I am going to lose to blue decks. Like
That-
this
yeah.
deck,
With the blast.
I'll admit that like the fairies matchup is pretty difficult. Like that was the matchup that
Right.
the one matchup I actually lost to the whole day last time I played it.
They just tempo you out.
just tempo you out,
Keep your
yeah.
crypt, keep your
Spell
crypt rats.
starters, yeah, spell starter sprite you into oblivion, counterspell you into oblivion. But no, having this amount of red blast is actually obviously a concession to that. So it's kind of cool that they've like made that a point of their game plan and like really pressed on with it. Also, they are keeping true to having the like 1-1 split of the Stream of Thought in their main and their board. I do think that is probably the way you're going to win the most often, if I had to guess, because that was the way I won most of my games, is actually streaming people.
Just milling them out.
But this one's also playing a copy or 4 copies of Trespasser's Curse. So we are prepared to beat the Brood-Scale deck because that deck is unwinnable.
Yeah,
in game
seems-
1.
yeah,
the
that
matchup is
seems-
horrendous.
That seems like rough
Just
beats there.
totally unwinnable game 1. But now, if you're playing Trespasser's Curse, that does help the cause. And then in the other deck, let's see what we got going on here.
It's about
this
the
is
same.
This is way closer to the list I played, but they're still
Yeah.
not playing the Brood-Skull combo on the board. They've decided to play 4 copies of Ancient Grudge in their board,
Yes.
along with 4 copies of Pyroblast and 4 copies of Relic. They really targeted their sideboard to be able to beat like the decks that they expect that they cannot beat. By the like higher level players in the challenge. So
Not fans of Avison's Collar, are they?
no, certainly not. Yeah, they're playing the extra copy of the Nadir's Nightblade in the board. They're playing the Stream of Thought, the extra Weather of the Storm, and then they're playing 4 Relics, 4 Pyroblasts, 4 Ancient Grudge. So they've definitely become prepared to beat the artifact decks, beat the graveyard decks, and beat the blue decks.
So, last thing I kind of want to touch on too before moving it over. GN playing Is It Terror, and they're normally a familiars
This is true. but,
pilot too, so they're switching up
so-
big time here.
Yeah, so GN decided that this was a different week to switch it up because it turns out they know that Familiars is pretty much unplayable in this current metagame.
You just play like brute scale.
Yeah, I mean, like
You get
Reds.
caught in between mono red and brood scale, I imagine.
so yeah, I know we've mentioned at the top of the episode that like that the blue red terror was like a good flavor for the weekend. It actually had the highest win percentage, I believe, of the decks that top aided across the weekend.
Shout out to Kruplinski.
alongside Dredge.
Yeah, that makes sense. One person playing Dredge and then just winning a challenge.
Yeah, one person played Dredge win challenge. 2 people top aided across the weekend with the blue red terror deck, so it did very well. This is definitely a good. I think this is a pretty good deck into a field of mono red, which is what a lot of these challenges are currently.
You are super vindicating Derek right now, as he and Thomas and I are trying to decide what he's going to play.
Is he talking about playing blue red?
He's
terror?
talking about playing blue red.
I think it's a solid choice.
Yeah, and we're like, no, just play red so we can all play mono red.
I do think if you expected to play it against a room full of mono red, that I think blue red terror is a solid choice because you have the very early interaction of like bolts and so on and so forth, and then you have post-board you have the blast effects, and then you have very cheap threats and your forms of terror and stuff, and you have wraths to kill up all the X1s that all the red decks play. So yeah, I think blue red terror is a great choice to play.
You're probably fine against like some of the combo decks too because you have the counter magic.
Yeah, because you have counter magic and you have potentially access to graveyard hate because you can play relics if you want to. That is a great choice. Just going forward, I think it's a solid choice because it gives you lots of decisions. I know Matt has played a little bit of this deck as well as I have.
Yeah. Well, what was that?
I like it. It's fun. It's a good time. As long as your opponent doesn't cast Writhing Chrysalis, then all bets are off.
I feel like the mono when we played like 2 matches with mono blue versus Is It Terror, and I feel like mono blue just felt like a little bit upper hand.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that,
just
like a
because
little pseudo mirror.
You mostly get to
wanna-
ignore the lightning bolts and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
That and your mana's clear on the mono blue side, so your lands aren't coming to play tapped on the mono blue side.
That's very true. 'Cause it's like
because you're having to like miss sequence some of your spells sometimes.
Yeah.
By playing tap lands and stuff like that.
Yep.
Right.
Any other thoughts, y'all?
The blue red terror deck was also playing 4 copies of Augur of Bolus.
Yeah, that was the most interesting thing to me because the list that I've tried out was the like no augur, just like terror, murmuring mystic, and the monarch dudes.
The Azure Fleet creature.
Yeah, and the Crimson Fleet.
Oh, like a 1/1 split.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see if there's a
Yeah.
a swing back to playing the augurs now again.
To know the bottom
Augur,
3 cards of your
Augur
library.
is definitely a concession into the mono red field.
Right.
Just get a blocker down.
Which
Yeah.
I think people have kind of gathered, like obviously from we were looking at these top 8, these 3 different top 8s, so we've noticed there's kind of a downtrend on the mono red deck. So we can obviously see that people have made concessions in their whatever builds of the decks that they play to build or to beat these mono red decks, and that being the case here in the blue red terror deck, but playing Augur. It's a 1/3 for 2. Picks you up a card. It essentially draws a card and it blocks the thing, so it does its job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sick weekend of Pauper. We have an event coming up in Middle Tennessee where you can come play some Pauper. It's another Team Trios event over at Game Night in Columbia, November 16th. We will all be there. There will be coverage for the event as well, so you can follow along on Twitch if you are unable to come to the event. The seats are Standard, Legacy, and Pauper. So come on down to Columbia Game Night.
We'll all be playing Pauper.
3 of us will be playing Pauper.
Yeah. It's not the 3 hosts of the podcast, weirdly enough.
Don't give me that look.
It's the 3 people on the casting couch.
With that being said,
Dan, would you like to play Pauper too, this team event? Make it a 4-person casting couch?
he's already
No, I
said
was
he's
saying-
allergic to constructed. You guys.
No, Dan.
He's allergic to Pauper specifically.
Dan could very much find I think a team playing standard. I think is probably your best
Oh,
bet
yeah,
for
yeah,
you,
yeah.
and also that's probably the hardest seat to fill out of all of it because
I would
you've
assume
just
so.
got some very strong Pauper and Legacy fanatics out there.
That's true.
Very
I'd
true.
give standard a
Yeah,
go because
yeah.
I'm probably going to put something together for the next RCQ season.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because that is the release weekend of Foundations, actually.
Dan
It is
playing
weekend of
constructed in an RCQ format?
So we at minimum know that we're getting Land of War Elves, which I'm sure is
Dude, Lenore Elves is going to be legal in Pauper. Let's go.
And Day of Judgment.
yeah. Well,
Day of Judgment's going to be legal in Pauper. Let's go.
No. All right.
All right. Let's talk about some CubeCon happenings.
Yes!
And I think we
Hell yeah.
wanted to do this because, I mean, Cameron, you were there.
I was
and
there.
Matt's been on the show before, and so, like, you were there. And Dan is a close friend of ours in our friend group, a Magic Play group. He was also there, so we wanted to come on and talk about it. And also, I think that there's some corollaries between, like, Pauper as a community, mostly a community-based format, and CubeCon being like an almost entirely community-run event and inspired by actions of the community and things like that. So I think there are some corollaries in like the types of people who would enjoy going to and experiencing something like CubeCon and people who enjoy playing Pauper. And honestly, outside of Pauper, Cube might be like between the three of us on the podcast, like our favorite way to play Magic.
Yeah. No, including Pauper. Cube is my favorite way to play Magic.
Yeah,
it just
absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
But I like the competitive itch, and Pauper can scratch that a little bit more than Cube can, you know?
Yeah.
I can like win some packs and
Right. For me, Cube is the quintessential, like, all right, we just got finished like being in like RCQ mode, or like the regional championships was a couple weeks ago now at this point, and just like being in that mode and like, okay, now I can just like chill with my friends, maybe have a drink or a smoke or something, and just like chill and cube draft, and just like know that we're all just gonna have fun, we're gonna have a good time, there's gonna be some really powerful stuff going on, and we just get to have fun playing with cards throughout the entire history of Magic.
And
Unless you're like me, who tries to play Cube competitively to go to Vegas.
You were the closest one of us to make an attempt.
I did.
I think, like a lot of times when people hear Cube, they think of the MTGO, the Magic Online Vintage Cube, and Cube is just like so much more than just like the Power Max thing now. Like even our own play group, like we have Peasant Cubes. Somebody has like a Thero set cube that's super fun. Our friend Anna, she has like a Boomer Cube that's just like old hits. Thomas, you have a Mono Red Cube we've mentioned.
Oh, there's the Cons Cube.
Yeah, see, we just like
Yeah,
We have-
with a bunch of custom cards that Mike has designed.
Yeah,
It's really sick.
our friend Mike has made this really, really cool Cons Cube with some custom cards that he's designed to help the cube flow a little bit better, and it's a blast to play, honestly.
And like even that's like the tamest stuff like on the wild, and like there's so much wild stuff that we'll get into too. If like CubeCon, there's like a very popular one from like the podcast Lucky Paper Radio is a cube that the only way to win is in the cube list. There is 100 ornithopters. And
that one's
that
Yes.
one definitely made some waves over the weekend.
yes, yeah, like that, just a super sick list like that. I don't think any of us got drafted, sadly, but I guess we didn't even explain what cube was really.
So Cube is a curated list of cards based on a theme or a topic of some variety.
Cards you own, cards you like.
cards you own, whatever.
Anything.
And you can design, obviously, like you've just mentioned, like the 100 Ornithopter Cube.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick all these very cool cool concepts and let your creative side go wild on it, honestly. So
it's just a draft set that you make, and you can just like keep playing with your friends. Nobody keeps the cards, obviously, because you make the cube or somebody makes the cube.
it's a
just
phantom
like
draft.
Yeah, it's a phantom draft that you make your own set is like the easiest way to put it. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things I loved about CubeCon is just the diversity of different cubes that you see, you know, different rules-based cubes, cubes just based on, like, the art of the cards, or, you know, different, you know, they just have different concepts. And like, to me, the thing, like, one of the things that I love the most about playing limited, and why I'm basically a limited only player, is because you're always solving a new puzzle, right? Like every quarter they come out with a new set of, like, you know, 300 some odd cards. You're looking through them, you're trying to crack the code, like what archetypes are going to be good, what cards are going to be good, how am I going to navigate my drafts. And at CubeCon, or when you play Cube, you get to solve that puzzle, do that puzzle repeatedly. Like, you sit down, you're in a completely new draft
And it's
environment.
cards like you're familiar with too.
Well, yeah, for
Yeah,
some,
okay, yeah, sorry.
for some of us who have been playing the game for longer than 2 years, yes, I did a lot of reading this weekend.
That's sick. Should we like do a little recap of the cubes that we played and stuff? Maybe not like full tournament recap mode, but if there's like anything memorable out of the cube, go for it.
Yeah.
So we'll just start with like the pre-event. So we get to, it was great. We had a friend, I know, side tangent. I'm a big tell a story to start telling a story person.
Yeah.
And so we had a friend named Everett. He moved away from Nashville back to Chicago. And so we hit up Everett. He's a big limited head. And we're like, yo, are you interested in going to CubeCon? He's like, yeah, that sounds super dope. So we're like, we're going to fly to Chicago. You're going to pick us up from Chicago. And we're going to hightail it from Chicago to Madison, Wisconsin, and that's what we did. So like we got to reunite with a friend in Chicago, and then we drove to our Airbnb there, and that was Wednesday night. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we all just kind of like settled in, hung out. I think we tuber. What did we even do?
We went to the LGS, the Misty Mountain
yeah.
Games, which was a super
Yes.
cool place.
Packed.
Just chock full of people for like 2 days before the main event even starts. Drafted some Jun Tuber, got some ramen after with gluten-free noodles.
That was the first time I had ramen in probably like 6 years, and it put a tear in my eye. I am not kidding. I loved
Hell
it.
yeah.
It was good. So like Madison, Wisconsin, great, like amazing food. And it was cool. Like that LGS, I think, runs like weekly cube nights too. They just have like
Oh yeah.
the most crack scene ever there. And it was just like really cool. We didn't get to draft any strangers cubes just because it was just like packed. And I think a few people were like, we need one more. And there's like 4 of us.
Yeah, 4 of us kind of tough to find all together.
I
Although
think
we did get to it on the last day. But.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was just because like we got there a little later, we couldn't hop in. So we just like Jun Tuberted, like with 4 of us. We drafted my 180 Jun Tubert, and it was very fun still. Enjoyed it. Scrambled, put in some last minute changes. I ripped the check in half and wrote BG Surveil Land on it. So that was because Matt, you were like, you finally noticed it one day, and you're like, "Is this the back of a check?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
There's all like watermark locks on it. And I was like, this doesn't look like a blank sheet of loose leaf paper.
Okay, that's not that bad. What's that green card that has like a wall of text on it that you just like wrote the name of it down? It's like, okay.
It's just all it says is Elder Gargroth.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's like,
Elder
what is that? And I
Gargroth.
was just like,
Like,
oh,
this
no.
thing does like 20 different things. Like, can you please?
you know, it's not important. You don't need to know what it is. No, it's
Yeah,
funny because
it just beats you. You lose the game.
no,
when-
my cube was completely organized by like color, creature, CMC, and everything because I was making changes to it, and I forgot the Elgar Gargaroth at home. So that was like a placeholder for me when it was still in the mail, which it's over there somewhere. I don't know where, so I apologize for that. But that was great. We get home, we get some beer, have a couple drinks.
Scavenge some wood.
Great. Yeah, we gathered some wood by the river. That was before the New Jersey
the
Devil.
first thing we do after we get to this Airbnb is we go down to the lake. Okay, that's cool. Then we walk over to the woods, and Cam and Matt decide to forage for firewood, which basically just means like picking up logs off the ground and smacking them against trees to break them into small. I'm like, we could just buy fire. They're like, no, why would you buy firewood when you could just smack trees against other trees?
The wood was so dry. It hadn't rained probably in like 2 weeks. It felt like I was like, this is gonna burn so good. You want to spend money on firewood?
In your defense, it did burn very well.
It was Dan. You were like, Matt, I've never seen this side of you before.
Yeah, it was true. There was a savagery to Matt that I
he became
Matt's
camp-
primal instinct.
Yeah.
He became camp counselor
Camp
Silly
counselor
Sentilles.
Matt.
So we get to the main event, or not even the main event. Thursday was the prequel draft, is what they called it. And so you could sign up for the prequel draft. You get like points at half price almost.
A point per win, I think I
Yeah,
saw.
so
Yeah.
basically the idea was if you 3-0 the prequel draft, it was like you got to buy in the
It's like
in
you
one
got a
round
match
in the main
win in
event.
the
yeah.
main
Yeah,
event.
they didn't want to like
Yeah.
disadvantage people who couldn't get there on
Exactly.
Thursday.
Just
Cool.
First of all, shout out CubeCon. I can't remember the person who puts the system together, but they made their own program called the Hedron Network, and it worked beautifully.
It's Gwen Decker, the designer of
Gwen
Cube
Decker,
Cobra.
yes. So just
wow.
an absolute champion for that. Like, thank you so much. And it's just like perfect system because there's 70 cubes, which is a ton to choose from. So how it goes is like each event, you'll rank like 10 cubes you want to play, and then you can rank like 10 you absolutely do not want to play. And if you rank 10 cubes, you will probably get into one within like the top 5. And so like that was just like a great way to go about it. So you could draft the stuff you wanted to draft. Like I definitely
Ranked
did.
choice voting is good. Who knew?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Accurate.
Crazy. So, Dan, what did you start the day with for the prequel draft?
My prequel draft was the spicy ramen cube, which I was
hell
talking
yeah.
to a lot of other people at the con, and they were like, it was very popular. I think anyone who played it was a big fan of it. So the stipulation of the cube is that each card can't cost more than a pack of ramen, which apparently is 35 cents.
That's amazing.
So it kind of plays like a peasant cube, but it's not rarity restricted. Like there are a bunch of budget rares in there, and it was a ton of fun. A lot of good like synergistic archetypes. I had some really good matches. I personally drafted like this white-black grindy value pile with a bunch of black removal, with Priest of Fell Rites and Ophiomancer as my MVPs.
That's super cool. And just like quick shout out, I went to college with the person who made the cube, and I never I remember him like trying to get cube drafts together back then, but like the only thing, including me, the only thing that people played like at our college was Commander. Like nobody was ever interested in like drafting. I think the 4 years he was at college, he got to draft the cube like twice, which is like super depressing. I think it was like a peasant cube at the time. He basically had like to beg people to draft it. And so sorry for not being cooler in college and drafting if you're listening. So it's kind of cool to see him there. He's like, I thought you were like a huge Commander player. I'm like, no, I hate Commander now. And so like it was a really cool cube because like it had like good power outliers, like Torrential Gearhulk is like a good example of that.
You can just, I think you can just tell, like, and for a lot of the cubes, like, if you go on their main page, the overview, and you, like, read through the description.
Over on Cube Cobra.
Yeah, on Cube Cobra. You can just kind of, like, tell
People
to some
care.
extent how good they're going to be based on how much care and time they put into, defining the archetypes and describing everything. And, like, I mean, the Spicy Ramen Cubes overview page looked like it was professionally done. Like, they had, like, customized graphics. Like, each color pair is, like, named after a certain
Miso
type of
pork or
ramen.
something. Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
So they did a really good job of curating the archetypes. They all felt very synergistic and powerful.
Cool. Any like standout matches or anything from that one? How did you end up finishing in that one?
I went 2-1. My one loss was to this red black sacrifice aristocrat style deck. I just I was basically like all white and black removal, and
that's hard.
When I killed all their stuff,
yeah.
I just got nugged for 3. So it's like
Yeah, I get that. Was that a trophy match?
No, I went 1-1 and then won the third one.
Okay, gotcha. Mr. Silly Sentilles, what did you start the prequel with?
I drafted the Atomic Cube, which was a very low to the ground, tempo focused legacy cube. It was my, I think, favorite cube that I drafted the entire weekend, and I'll end up coming back to it a little bit later. It was just extremely played to the board a lot. Every single turn felt like it mattered a ton. Each color has like 20 to 25 1-drops. Like from turn 1, if you're not casting spells, you feel like you're behind, and every bit of mana used from turns 1, 2, and 3 feel like they need to matter. So very tense games. Felt like there was a lot going on just from the get-go. Pack one, pick one. I'll poll the room because I feel like there's going to be some strong opinions. Swords to Plowshares or Gut? What do you take?
Swords to Plowshares.
Okay.
Swords to Plowshares.
Gut.
Absolutely gut.
Cool. Divided room. I took Swords to Plowshares.
Let's go.
I feel slightly vindicated now.
Here's my opinion on the because I'll come from the vintage.
His gut is also very good.
I was like,
Oh,
I'll
yes.
come from the vintage cube side of this because I've played a lot. Obviously, I played a lot of both of these cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think the card that is the unconditional removal spell that basically kills any card in the cube over the card that does have a very huge impact as soon as it hits the board and starts to go to combat. Like you have this very huge advantage. But if we're comparing the two cards, like one card beats the other card, I think I'm willing to go Swords.
Yeah, but that's
Sure.
like the argument of you wouldn't play Doomblade over Nadu because Doomblade kills Nadu.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just it's a generic threats versus answers thing.
It's very hard.
It's the saying that I heard one time. It's like there are no wrong threats. There are wrong answers.
My other support to the not gut answer here is that you need cards to go around gut to make gut work. You do not have to make make Swords to Plowshares work.
Matt said that to me too, and then I kind of rebutted with it's like I like to be proactive in cubes, and but my other thing now is that
no, you do have to build around gut a little bit. It puts a little deck building constraints on you.
Personally, the reason I went with the swords because it can be just as good in a proactive or reactive deck, whereas
100%.
Gut is like better as a proactive card. But I love Swords of Plowshares just because it's just one of the most flexible.
I also
cards
think
you
it
can
leaves
take.
you more open.
Exactly.
It leaves you more open to do more things because it's good in aggressive or reactive strategies. I mean, obviously, it's quote the best removal spell of all time for a reason.
And
Yes.
my other thing,
Like it's above the echelon of like the Doomblade argument.
Like we
yes.
it,
Oh,
it-
yeah.
over the 30 years of Magic, it has maintained itself as the best removal spell for a purpose.
I would take swords over Nadu.
Now, as someone who loves to draft quote Big Boros in Vintage Big Boros in Vintage Cube, I love both of those cards. I think both of them have very high win percentages in your decks that you draft them in. I would just give the slight edge to Swords to Plowshares.
and my last point too is like the replayability. It's like, yes, swords is the best removal spell, but this is a cube full of a ton of removal spells like Fatal Push, Cut Down, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Path to Exile. It's like, how many guts are there? How many removal spells are there?
Sure. Well, like I said, I went back and forth for a first pick. It was a really hard decision. The person that I passed to ended up in red white aggro featuring Gut. So
what
go
printing
figure.
was on swords?
Oh yeah. Also, a little bit of a tiebreaker. Judge promo swords. You kind of.
I mean, you look at that and you go,
gotta have the blue.
yeah, that's correct.
Either card would have been fantastic in my deck, but I did end up in a heavy white-based aggro deck because after taking swords, I took Oust into Felia and went cool. White's open, shut it down.
Yeah.
Ended up playing white with a handful of blue for basically just counterspell, spell queller, and smirking spelljacker. Lovely deck. Beat red-black aggro in the first match. Played against previously mentioned friend Everett in match 2, who was playing 4-color Golos Field of the Dead Wrath's Tribal, which is pretty cool. But the first game I cast Thalia, and he said, "Oh, that's not good." And then I cast Anointed Peacekeeper and looked at the Doomscar that he just foretold and went, "Oh, you have nothing else relevant in your hand? Cool, I'm going to name Doomscar." So even from Foretell, it costs 6 mana now. And then so that he did not win that game. So ended up
two of the 3 best limited players in the Middle Tennessee area got to play against each other. Sick.
Flattered. And then match 3, I got to play against a unbelievably sweet Grixis deck featuring nothing less than Psychic Frog, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Treasure Cruise, Orcish Bowmasters.
baby.
Stole game 1 off. I cast Thalia, and he goes, "Cool." And Sep, I'll cast Orcish Bowmasters, and I audibly yelled, "Orcish Bowmasters!" But ended up clawing my way back into it and kind of won off of a very timely Smirking Spelljacker, which is an excellent card. Really strong stuff.
I hate that card.
Dan's not
that card. Every time I have got to play it, and say again, most of my context is from Vintage Cube.
Yeah.
That card is
It's
sick.
really
Every time it
nice.
is put on the set deck.
Game 2, I have also OBM and then got killed by a gigantic Murktide Regent that I couldn't deal with. Game 3, we kind of both stumbled a little bit. He cast a card from Wilds of Eldraine. It's 2 in a red, 0-4. Whenever you draw your second card, each turn it deals 3 to any target, which is very cleanly answered by Swords to Plowshares because it has 0 power.
Iron Crag Pyromancer?
That's the one.
Yep.
Kicked my butt with it game 2, but had a good answer in game 3. I kept attacking until finally he's like, "All right, here's my big play, Murktide Regent." And you know what's really good against Murktide Regent is a card, Soul Partition, which exiles any non-land
it
permanent,
is.
and it can be replayed. But if your opponent controls it, it costs 2 additional mana. Except the only way they were able to cast that Murktide Regent was exiling most of their graveyard, so it's basically just gone forever. So ended up getting a trophy in the prequel draft, and so I got this cool little enamel pin that's in the shape of a trophy.
You got more than one on there. I think you're cool.
Oh, we'll get to that later. Aaron, what did you draft?
It was pretty sick. That was this was the when you guys started drafting on Thursday was when y'all started posting your deck pictures and stuff in our Discord, in our team Discord, and this deck in particular, we were all like, this.
Yeah.
Not only do the choices of the foils and the printings look really sick in terms of the contents of the cube itself, but this one was our first oh damn, this is a trophy list. This deck looks sick.
It was sweet. A big shout out to one James Hippo Hieronymus. I drafted a lot of what some would call hippo decks this weekend, including but not limited to a lot of decks that played Thraben Inspector. That was
Pauper
my
also.
Is,
MVP.
is that a good card in limited?
Not just in limited, Dan.
at
it's
some
also
point,
good in Pauper.
I
Would you
s-
believe it?
I said, you know what? My mantra this weekend: we don't pass Thraben Inspector, and it did not fail me ever.
I am beyond flattered that you decided to draft some info cards.
How was your prequel draft, Cameron?
Oh, it was cool. It was great. It was great. I drafted the MAD cube. You might call it the Mad cube. It was kind of like a bigger cube, not quite like Dave McDarby's Live the Dream cube. Aggro still existed in this cube, which I like aggro decks. I don't not quite remember what I packed one, picked one, but I ended up in like Naya aggro, so it's like a really weird looking aggro deck with like Arcbound Ravager, War Leader's Call, Inti, and then I just realized like with the Arcbound Ravager, I just had a ton of stuff that made random artifacts, like the new Dollhouse from Dustborn. Whenever you attack, you make a 1/1 artifact creature token. Carnage Interpreter makes a ton of artifact tokens.
Yup.
And just stuff like that. Apothecary White makes artifact tokens. So I just got 3 busted Ravnica clue cards, and as I just mentioned, Carnage Interpreter, Apothecary White, and the Headliner Scarlet. All 3
Oh yeah, Scarlet's nuts.
Scarlet is nuts.
very messed up cards. And then it was just like a really interesting cube because though I was an aggro deck, I had room for Berkey, Long Ear the Law, a Bloom Barrow card that's just like 6 mana, double the counters on attacking creatures. So just like super random. Like, yeah, my aggro deck just like, yeah, I have room for a 6-drop because games will go there. I thought my deck was really cool. Like game 1, I played against like this blue-white artifact control and stuff, and like they ended up getting me game 1. They like stabilized with the Jace the Mind Sculptor and like a 4-mana Urza, and I just kind of had like a War Leader's Call, and like in retrospect, I'm like, man, I'm making more artifact tokens. I am like artifact or creature tokens. I'm like, this War Leader's Call is not super good. Game 2, I kind of had this Dollhouse out, and I was just making a bunch of tokens, and eventually I drew Headliner. I played like Headliner, got him down really low, and then I had that 6-mana Rabbit and just to finish them off like that, and that's kind of like how my draft ended up going quite a bit. How my games ended up playing out was Headliner or the 6-mana Rabbit to kill people. Game 3, I killed him with an Innkeeper's Talent because that card's really good with Arcbound Ravager. Fun fact.
It's really good with a lot of cards.
Yeah. Round 2, I had the sickest game 1. My opponent was super cool. They organized the Commander Sealed events, and they raised all this money for Trans Youth line.
Sick.
So yeah,
Sick.
like
Love it.
super, yeah, love that. Protect Trans Youth. Let's go. Super cool person. This was the coolest line I had all weekend. I had an Arcbound Ravager with 4 counters on it. I played the Berkey to give it an extra counter, putting it to 5. I swing with it. I trigger my Dollhouse that's on the board, make another dude, sack the dude, put my Arcbound Ravager at 6. I stack my Staff of the Storyteller, put my Arcbound Ravager to 7, and then I let my Berkey trigger resolve, doubling the counters, and put him to 14. And he was exactly at 14.
Exactly lethal.
And I felt that was like the tightest line I had all weekend. It was sick.
The Drew Carlson.
Yeah,
tight line. The tight line.
A tight line.
Sick.
Game 2, that one, they smushed me. They had a really cool, like, it looked like I was thinking, like, how do I lose this game? And then they played Carnosaur, the Discover 5, Discover 6, and they discovered into Starfall from Bloomburrow, which is a raft that lets them reanimate. And guess what they got back? A Carnosaur, which got the
That's funny.
Rakdos creature from actual Rakdos, the character from Outlaws.
Yep.
The
And
muscle.
and they just
Is
annihilated
that like
for
the
me.
show and tell creature or whatever?
No, that's like you can sacrifice a creature to exile cards from your opponent's library and play them. And also, you could sacrifice your own things to give them indestructible. So it just doesn't die and
Was it
steals all
a 4-drop or something? Like that?
5.
It's like a 5 and a 6/5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to remember what's it. Yeah.
Then
I gotcha.
game 3 against them, we were like kind of racing. I was pretty confident I was going to win this race. And they kind of had like this sub theme where they're casting cards from Exile of Contorius, and they had a lot of that ways by like Siphon Insight and like Decadent Dragon stealing like putting cards from my library in exile.
Yep.
They stole my Headliner Scarlet and killed me.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, rough beats.
Big tilt.
It was pretty funny. Round 3, the only note I had, I 2-1 this person. the 2 wins I had, Apothecary, that whenever you attack, you make a food, and it has Vigilance too, which is just not okay, because you can tap it and make 1/1s equal number of foods you have, and that card just unanswered just runs away with the game. And the one game they got for me, they stole my Scarlet again. So the only way my deck can lose is my opponent steals my Scarlet and kills me with it.
It's like the final scene of The Incredibles, where it's like the only thing strong enough to pierce it is itself.
Exactly, it was 100% that, and I was just like, it was fun. That was the prequel draft. We had home at what time? At some time.
11. I don't know.
We're pretty beat at this point. Tomorrow, this is the main event. We draft 2 cubes during the main event.
Yes.
It was great. Fun
Which
fact,
was an
spoiler.
improvement. They were saying the year before they did 3 drafts a day, which sounds like a real slog.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they had some food trucks outside. They're actually pretty fire, too. So like
Yeah.
between
Oh, yeah.
cubes, we got some food and stuff.
Sick.
They had a nice Euro place, or as Matt likes to say, gyro. That's not true. Someone said called it a gyro.
These allegations.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Dan,
What's up? Oh,
how
draft
did
1?
you? Yeah, how would you draft 1?
Draft 1, I was in the Peasant Plus cube, which is basically all of the spells are in keeping with the peasant restrictions. The plus part is for lands, so they had like a full set. I think they had like two of each shock and 1 of each fetch. I ended up drafting a red-green monsters deck. Splashing black for Honest Rutstein. I was initially also splashing white for the adventure side of Imidation's Recruiter, but decided that I had too many tap lands after losing my first game, and sided out of that. It was, I think I took the bait a little bit on the cube, so like I just, when I'm playing cube, I love drafting fetches and duels and tries. Like I just love being able to just put together like a 5-color mana base super easily. And so
Music to my ears.
I grabbed, I had
You like being the responsible cube drafter.
Yes, correct. I mean, like, I also, like, I'm used to the MTGO Vintage Cube, because that's, like, the first cube that I started playing, because you can easily play it online, and, like, you know, the fetches and tries and duels are, like, you know, very high picks, and so, like, when I see that, I go for it.
Confirm.
And so, but in this particular cube, like, I don't think, because, like, it was designed as kind of like a regular peasant cube, so there wasn't a lot of archetype bleed. So, like, getting all that fixing doesn't really get you a whole lot. Like I said, you know, I was splashing 1 card, and I had, like, 9 non-basic lands. So I think basically, like, I ended up going a little too deep into trying to fix, and as a result, I think my spells were not powerful enough. I also didn't. I had 1 Jiraga Tree Speaker, but other than that, I didn't have a lot of mana acceleration. And you know, like in my first pack, I passed a couple mana dorks for like fetches and duels, and that ended up not working out in my favor. I also hit some variants, so I actually ended up going 0-1 and 0-2 and 1 in this cube.
Tilt.
Yeah, I had
Big tilt.
0 match wins. I was not having a good time. I mean, I had some game wins. I think all of my games went to all of my matches went to 3. But also, like, honestly, all the people I played against put together excellent decks and
Did
were
you play
very
against
good
Benjamin
players.
Wheeler?
Oh yeah. I was sitting. I can't claim that Benjamin Wheeler cut me off because I was sitting to his right. But he was in the cube, and there were also like the other players in the cube were quite good, and they put together very good decks and played them very tightly. So yeah, it was a disappointing loss. In retrospect, I definitely should have taken more mana dorks.
Yeah. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed, again, this is a lot of my Vintage Cube talk coming out, from some of the Vintage Cube content creators that I follow. There definitely seems to be a differential between who likes to draft just the overall powerful cards that should go in your deck versus the powerful mana that allows your deck to work. There's definitely is not a true consensus on like where and what is correct in what picks and stuff like this. This is something I guess we'll forever be figuring out, which is actually kind of a good thing that keeps Cube alive. Drafting the powerful cards versus drafting the cards that allow your powerful cards to work.
Yeah, well, I think it's also like very context dependent, and that's the beautiful thing about CubeCon. Like you sit down at one cube, taking fetches and duels might be like absolutely what you need to be doing. You sit down at another cube, they might be last picks, and it very much depends on the context of the draft environment, and that's the challenge of doing well in a tournament like that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Matt, you conceded the stage to me here to go first because we ended up in the same cube, the Reading Rainbow Cube, which was something I really this was like number one on my list to play. The whole stick behind this cube was, what's that land called?
Pillar of the Perunes.
So you start the game and play with Pillar of Perons in play, like I said, and that is a land that can tap for any colored mana, but it can only be used to cast multicolored spells, which the whole cube is multicolored spells. And so the game effectively starts on turn 2, and from like what I've heard about the cube, you can put you just basically turn in this 2-color, 5-color deck, so you can be a red-green deck, but you can cast a green-red spell because you have your land that always taps for red mana. And I focused... My pack 1 pick 1 was Invasion of Amonkhet. It wasn't the most powerful pack ever. I remember seeing some other graveyard stuff in there. And the other graveyard stuff, like one of them wheeled, I think Matt ended up taking my Skull Prophet, funny enough. So I really leaned into this graveyard theme, and I tried to like draft a synergistic deck. And I feel like I just got super punished because like against my opponents, they just kind of like played good cards every turn. Fun fact.
Yeah. I've done a couple phantom drafts of this cube just like on Cube Cobra when I like found out about it, and because like the Lucky Paper Radio podcast, which we've mentioned many times, it's a friend of theirs in their local group who designed this cube. And so I've like done a couple drafts of it just like to practice on Cube Cobra, just because I also am really a big fan of the concept. And you can just kind of get into a spot where you're like, oh, I should just take the best cards. Because the mana fixing is like you said, you can just, as long as you have like 2 base pips of color, like if you put all forests and mountains in your deck, you can play whatever, like a blue-red spell, because your mountain can cast it and then your pillar casts the blue.
And especially my matches 1 and 3 were very, very close. Like I had potential to win both of those matches. They both went to game 3, especially round 1. Like, he barely squeaked it out there, and I like missing your. It's funny to hear about missing your 3rd land and like regular limited is like brutal. Missing your 6th land drop in this cube is brutal. And like I had a Godsire to reanimate, but I had to use a 5-mana reanimation spell instead of a 6-mana reanimation spell that gave it haste. This sounds ridiculous, but like if I was able to hit my 6th land drop on either turn 6 or 7, I think I end up winning that game because I had like one more blocker and crackback wise. And game 2 or round 2 was the moment I realized like, okay, I drafted this cube wrong because my opponent was just like 5-color good stuff and just went like good planeswalker, good planeswalker, good planeswalker, and I lost the game. And I'm like, I hate planeswalkers. Like my peasant cube has 0 planeswalkers in it because I think they're dumb. I think they're dumb is because I like playing aggro decks, and I hate the idea of my opponent stabilizing with a planeswalker, and now I have to figure out, okay, do they gain life from this planeswalker, or can I outrace this planeswalker, giving them an advantage every turn? So that's its own tangent. And then, like I said, game 3 was very close to. I was making this round 3, game 3. I was making this insane comeback on 1 life. I'm stabilized with Tristani Summoner. Like my 2 my reanimator targets are Godsire, which makes 8/8 tokens, and Tristani Summoner, which makes
a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Makes 3 different tokens.
Yes, exactly. In game 1, my opponent plays this 3-mana thing. Whenever your opponent makes a token, you also make a token.
Oh god!
And I'm just like, what the
same
fuck is that? Yeah, and like game 1, like it was pre-sideboard. I'm like, what is that doing here? And then like I don't think they even saw my token payoff. So it was their game 2 again. I'm like, but this game 3, I was able to kill it, and I made this comeback with Tristani Summoner. And like I'm swinging in a couple turns, and I go to swing it again. They're like deflecting palm or deflecting palm, and I'm like, no. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, don't be. That's sick.
Yeah,
they're like,
palmed, brother.
They were such a nice person, to be fair. They were like one of the nicest people I met all weekend. And like they're like, no, you were making this really cool comeback. And I'm like, don't apologize for winning. This was cool. And I'm like, how often do you get a deflecting palm somebody? So that was cool. Like everybody I played against was really cool. I just a little sad I bombed that draft because like I thought I kind of had the sauce figured out. Like, oh, I can be this 2-color, 5-color deck. I'm like, I'm gonna be this cool Reanimator deck and stuff. And I got all this synergy.
Everyone's coming in with that idea.
Yeah.
Matt,
Hey.
you decided to play this cube too.
I
mister.
did too, and this was also my number 1 cube choice that I wanted to do more than anything else this weekend.
Did you do better than me?
It would be impossible not to.
No shade thrown.
Yeah.
Is it getting hot in here?
Not in cube. I like to draft pretty much any kind of deck, but in retail limited, I love the soupy pile decks, and this felt right up my alley.
I'm sorry, you like to draft soupy piles in any cube.
Well,
You're
yeah,
kidding.
that too. That's part of anything.
Except for Cameron's peasant.
So pack one,
Yeah.
pick one. I looked at a bunch of cards and went, "Yep, I'm taking this green thriving land. Let's go."
Because you came in this cube with an idea.
Yeah, no, I came fully. Like when we were looking at the cube list, I saw there's not Jared Carthelian, but like I don't know, Johnson Carthelian is like this 2-mana 2/2.
His brother.
Yeah. Whenever you cast a spell that is all 5 colors, you make a Sarah Angel, and I was like, that's what I want. That's what I'm here for.
Okay,
So I took the tap green thriving land into pick 2. I saw the Kami War. 5-color spell, was about to windmill slam it until kind of shuffled our way to the back of the pack. Hiding away for me was Villainous Wealth, which I'm not passing that. And so we slammed Villainous Wealth.
In a
That might
haymaker
be
cube
one of
like
the
that.
best winning cards.
It's
limited
so
cards of all time.
satisfying to
love that
go, oh, okay, you're tapped out. Villainous Wealth for 7. Your opponent flips over cards and just kind of goes, yeah, I think we can call it there. We don't have to worry about resolving all this.
Yeah,
It sounded like that happened quite a bit.
Yes.
Since 2014, that card has ruined some limited formats.
Oh, it has only enhanced them, brother. So round 1, I play against the same kind of. It was the 5-color soup off. The same person I think Cameron played round 2.
Yeah.
I lost game 1-2. Believe it or not, the Kami War.
Oh, this was my round 1 opponent of my pre-cube.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's right. So we both great minds think alike. He got the Kami War, and it was the 5-color soup off. He got the first one, I got the second one, and game 3, like Cameron said, they were land screwed because they missed their 6th land drop.
Yeah.
And so I kind of ran away with the game. Match 2, I played against what is actually, I think, sneakily the best thing to do in this cube, Mardu Aggro.
Sure.
Believe it or not, yeah, just when you can cast all your spells like without worrying, and you get to start on 2 mana on turn 1, very good. He got the first game. Game 2, I found this very funny little loop of Annie Flash from Outlaws of Thunder Junction enters and reanimates a 3-drop from your graveyard, and I had Lagrella the Magpie, a 3-mana 2/3 from Streets of New Capenna, which says you can banish your priest, exile until it leaves the battlefield, a creature your opponent controls, creature you control, or both, and if you hit one of your own creatures, when it enters the battlefield again, it enters with 2+1/+1 counters. So I reanimated Lagrella, and I said, I'm not about to die, I'm going to exile Annie Flash. So if you want to get your creature back, I get to bring Annie Flash back, which brings back the Lagrella.
Oh. Why does that remind me of Omen of a Dead and Core Skyfisher?
Basically, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this Pauper?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Pauper.
5-color cube.
Is
We
this
had-
Pauper Orzhov Blade?
Yeah, I mean, it basically was the equivalent. We had 2 really good games, and then game 3, he had to mull to 4 and never hit a 3rd land, so kind of a stinker. Until match 3, I played against, believe it or not, Mardu Aggro again. Game 1, I lost. Game 2, he lost. Game 3, this was playing for the trophy. I lost. I don't think I could have stacked my deck any better I went turn 1, a tap land, turn 2, Mana Dork, turn 3, Supreme Verdict, wipe the board, pretty good against red-white aggro. Turn 4, Siege Rhino, gain some life, giant dude, into turn 5, Savage Twister, X red-black, deal X to every creature. Siege Rhino's bigger than all of his creatures, so it's just Plague Wind. Turn 6, Tatiova, play a land, gain a life, draw a card, go up to 9. I have a sneaky life gain in hand with Planar Genesis to like nab a land off the top of my library, put it on the play in case he's like, Xaxes. I can go, gotcha. Except his turn, he goes, oh, you're mostly tapped out. Okay. This card from either Ravnica Allegiance or Guilds of Ravnica. It's like 2 red-black, Shallow Grave, one of your opponent's creatures, and he takes my Maelstrom Angel out of my graveyard, puts it into play. It's a 5/5 flyer that it also gets +2/+0 from the spell. He attacks me for 7 in the air, and I go, okay, I can't block that. That sucks. Go to 2. And he goes, okay, Maelstrom Angel, when it hits you, I get to cast a spell for free. Here's some Lord of the Rings card you've never seen before that makes you exile the creature you control with the most power. So I was like, okay, I'm exiling my Siege Rhino. And he goes, and now because I have Spell Mastery, you also take damage equal to its power. So that turn was just an unblockable 11 ball. And I was like, you know what?
I'm sorry, how much?
11. Like I said, I don't think I could have stacked my deck to have a better draw
you're like
against
turn
aggro.
sorry,
turn 3 Wrath, turn 4 Siege
how is he
Rhino,
even
turn 5
reducing your
Plague
life
Wind.
total? You're like wrathing every turn.
Yes. So I mean, Haste and Arabella got me
Arabella's
real
a
good.
beast.
Like I said, I can't really be mad because I don't think I could have drawn up a better game plan. But so props to him. So I 2-1'd that draft. Friday, the second draft. I'll just keep going. I'm just in the zone right now.
I love locked in Matt.
Yeah. So
Locked in
then
podcast, Matt's my
draft
favorite.
number 2. I drafted the budget synergy cube, which was very similar to kind of what Dan was talking about with the spicy ramen cube. Kind of peasant based. Removed a lot of the most busted uncommons. So for example, there is Skin Render, but no Ravenous Chupacabra. But also filled in with some kind of I'm not going to say bulk rares, but definitely cheaper ones, not oppressive ones, but still very synergistic ones. The whole idea in the cube overview, the creator actually listed like, hey, I want this to be about synergy and onboard synergy. So like removal is going to be very sparse. Use it wisely. So I drafted every removal spell I could. I think I ended up I'm like white, black with just a bazillion removal spells and a little bit of a tokens or an ETB theme. This cube also contained Thraben Inspector, so I drafted Thraben Inspector. And it also contained Agent of Acquisitions, which is the conspiracy card that says you drafted face up, and at any point you can say, I'm using my Agent of Acquisitions, and you just draft the whole pack. And so at some point, it's pack 3, pick 3 or 4.
And then you sit out the rest of the pack,
Yes,
right?
yes. Then you sit out the rest of the pack. Sorry.
They they bring in a fresh pack for
No.
You
You just
you
don't
just
get passed
take-
cards anymore. They just skip you.
This may have just made its way into my vintage cube.
It's a far. It also contained Cogwork Librarian, but Cogwork didn't show up till like pack 3, so it wasn't as impactful. I got the agent, the literal 15th card of pack 1, and pack 3, pick 3 or 4. I see about 7 white cards, including but not limited to Thraben Inspector, and I said, you know what? Take the whole thing. I'm done. And so, like I said, kind of a white-black removal pile, a little bit of tokens theme, a little ETBs theme. Pack 1, pick 1 was Master Splicer, Blade Splicer's little cousin. 4 mana, 1/1, makes a 3/3 golem, but it also anthems all your golems. Fantastic target for Flicker Wisp.
I like that that's the little cousin.
Oh,
Even though
well,
it's technically
that
bigger.
is a good one.
Yeah. A great target for Flicker Wisp and other flickering things. I got to play match 1 against a red-green Madness deck featuring Surly Badgesaur, which is a super cool card. It's like the red Waste Knot creature. Whenever you discard cards, it does things
Like
and stuff.
an Ikoria commander card, I think.
Yeah. Super cool deck, but was able to beat it. Match 2, played against the green-black Self-Mill Graveyard deck. Spider Spawning was in the cube. I don't know if he had it. I do know he had Rise of the Varmints, which were both cards that were difficult for me to beat, but just didn't draw. If he had the Spider Spawning, he didn't draw it, and he never saw the Rise, so otherwise just killed all his stuff. And then match 3, played against green-white tokens, which was and this was the best that Heirloom epic has ever looked before. The 1 mana artifact from Bloomburrow that says 4 mana tap, draw a card, but you can tap a creature to pay for 1 mana in this activated ability as much times as you want. So you can tap 4 creatures to draw a card for free, and he just spewed out tokens, and so it was just drawing 2 cards a turn for 0 mana. Very excellent. He got game 1, I got game 2. Game 3, he had, again, 1 more billion tokens in play. It's not looking good until I finally rip a card off the top that I've been looking for all game long. I crew my Golden Argosy with Captain of the Watch to attack, kind of trade it off in combat. Captain of the Watch enters, makes some more tokens.
Captain Watch is a 6-drop from like M13.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Cool.
6-drop.
Cool.
3/3 enters, makes 3 1/1s, and then they're soldiers, and all your soldiers get +1/+1.
I'm familiar with the card.
Yeah,
It's
no.
a pre-con.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I said, it was
Perfect
basically
card.
a peasant cube with some peasant power level rares.
I would agree that is one of those.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Listen, buddy.
I would agree that is one of those.
So the winning line was to crew the Argosy with Captain of the Watch. It enters, and then in my second main phase, play the Woe Strider that I just ripped off the top of my library. Move to end step, Captain enters, makes 3 1/1s, and now I have enough creatures on board to sacrifice them all to the Woe Strider and have my Bastion of Remembrance, which is an enchantment blood artist from Ikoria, to kill him before he could draw another card. And that was the line. It was fantastic.
Tight
That was
line. Tight
my
line.
yeah. That was my second enamel trophy.
Looks down
pin.
at
So in that vein, again, this might be off topic, but I did play an RCQ this weekend with Living End, and I almost did the exact same thing you did.
You
with
crewed
Living End.
Golden
No,
Argosy
no,
with
no,
your
no.
Captain of the Watch in Modern.
No. I almost killed my opponent with the Bastion.
Oh, really?
No, not the Bastion card.
Okay.
No, my opponent put a Goblin Bombardment on the stack, and I'm playing Living End, and I commandeered the Goblin Bombardment.
Ooh.
And I took it, and I was like, "Oh, I have a line to kill them next, in the next turn cycle or whatever." And then they proceeded to play a second Goblin Bombardment, and then played a second Sapphy Eric's daughter,
Okay.
and then we're able to loop two Sapphy Eric's daughter, and a what's the card, like 3-drop?
Renegade Rallier.
Nope. Well, that was in their deck, but that was not the card.
Damn.
It was what's the card that like brings back it's like a 3-drop white creature.
Reanimator, make reanimate
Nope,
phase.
comes back. The creature can't attack or block. And
Extraction
Extraction
Specialist.
Yeah.
That's the card. So they were able to
God, we're
loop
nerds.
loop Extraction Specialist and double Sapphy Eric's daughter to kill me.
That's cool.
But I can say if they had not done that exactly found the second Sapphy Eric's daughter, they were dead on my turn because I attacked them with I don't know, 8 points of damage, and then sacrificed my board to the Goblin Bombardment, then living end again, and then sack all my creatures to living end to say Goblin
Living in
Bombardment.
Goblin Bombardment. That's got to be a thing.
Yeah, it was pretty
Well,
sick. If I had gotten
how much does Goblin Bombardment cost?
if I had
2.
well again
And
I got to,
what casting cost are your Cascade spells?
Thomas, just get lucky.
Wait, were you playing Goblin Bombardment?
no,
He stole it.
Oh, okay,
I stole it with
sorry.
a commandeer.
Oh,
I got
okay,
to fuck.
okay.
I got to sick line my opponent into taking their Goblin Bombardment.
That's
You were pretty
awesome.
close.
You're-
However,
you're
you were
probably-
playing Magic the Gathering, not horseshoes nor hand grenades.
I also lost because my opponent decided to draw a second Sapphy Eric's daughter.
Yeah, decided.
That was a
to
pretty
draw.
good decision on their part.
Yeah, it was a great decision on the part because it won the game, and then they won the second game. Continuing.
Cameron, what was the second cube that you drafted on Friday?
I'm gonna throw it to Dan.
Dan, what was the second cube that you drafted on Friday?
I drafted the Lord of the Rings expanded cube because
Ooh.
the Lord of the Rings retail limited is one of my favorite sets
Same.
of all time.
Same.
And
I wonder why it is for me.
and I sat down to draft, and so it's kind of like it's a cube based on Lord of the Rings limited set. It was not a full singleton cube. They had like 3 copies of Birthday Escape. They had like multiple
hell
copies
yeah.
of some of the commons.
Nice.
And I sit down to the cube. I open up my pack. There's like a bunch of good rares, but there's only one card that I see that is the card for me that is in my heart of hearts. I have to take this, and it is Fiery Inscription.
Yeah.
It is the
I was
pinnacle.
gonna guess Bat Song, but
It is-
Fire Inscription is
It
so
is the
sick.
pinnacle of my absolute favorite deck to draft in that format, which is the blue-red burn spells deck.
Yeah.
And
Just
it's
like turbo ring tempting, triggering
turbo
fiery
ring
inscription.
tempting, burn him out just by casting a bunch of cantrips. I followed that up. So they actually juiced up that archetype by bringing in like some non-LTR cards because my second pick was a gutter snipe.
Oh, cool.
Heater.
So fire inscription on a 2/2.
So I go fiery inscription, gutter snipe.
Oh my god.
Like young pyromancer, second fiery inscription, and I'm like, brother, we are doing it.
We are cooking.
That's really cool.
I end up going on to take I take 2 of the 3 birthday escapes that are in the cube. I got like 3 Rangers Firebrands. So I got like a bunch of really cheap spells. I also got Flame of Anor, Gandalf Sanction, and I got the blue-red rare Gandalf that does ridiculous things when you cast instant or sorcery spells. And I had I had the possibility of doing the rare Gandalf plus Flame of Anor combo because Gandalf is a wizard, so you get to choose 2 modes off of Flame of Anor when you cast it, and he can also copy a spell that you cast, so you could nug 2 things for 5 and draw 4 cards.
Because you also get to choose new targets for the card, correct?
Yes.
New targets, same modes. Yep.
Oh, it has to be the same modes. Okay.
Yeah, same modes, new target. Yeah, that's right. So I was feeling super good about the deck I drafted. And then I get matched up against my round 1 opponent, and he goes, turn 1, rare Frodo. Turn 2, Call of the Ring, which is a 2-mana enchantment that lets you get tempted by the ring at the beginning of each of your upkeeps, and you can pay 2 life to draw a card when you choose a ring bearer.
Yeah, that card's very good.
So by turn 4, he has this rare Frodo, which is now at 4 is the ring bearer at level 4 tempting of the ring. Rare Frodo says you can pay 2 Orzhov hybrid to level it up to a 2/3 lifelinker, and then you can pay 3 black mana to give it the condition when this creature deals damage to your opponent. If you are at level 4, if it's the ring bearer and you're at level 4 of ring tempting, you win the game. And
Did they win the game?
And also note that the ring bearer can only be blocked by creatures with equal or lesser power. So I basically have to have a continuous stream of like 1 or 2 power creatures to chump block this Frodo.
You got young Peasy.
That's gaining life every turn.
That's
against
gaining
your
life
blue,
every
red,
turn.
like, burn deck.
While my opponent continues to draw cards, I have a blue-red burn deck. So that match did not go well for me. Then my second match, I don't remember the details super well. I think it was. I think my opponent was on green-white. Yeah, they were on green-white, and they had a bunch of ways to like recursively make food tokens, and so they were able to like heal their way out of my burn. And they won that one in 3. And so now I have gone 0-2-1, and now I'm 0-2, and I'm like just like feeling super terrible. I'm like, why did I fly to Chicago, drive to Wisconsin, come here to get my ass handed to me, and like I haven't won a single match of Magic the Gathering today, like just feeling absolutely miserable. I was complaining about it sitting at the table. The guy like sitting diagonally from me was like, I also haven't won a match the entire day, and we're going to queue into each other, and one of us is going to have a really, really bad day. We did queue into each other, and luckily I was not the one who had the really, really bad day. So
you weren't
go
happy
3, you
after
just
this,
went
Oliver.
1-2.
yeah, so
You could have both drawn.
Yeah.
We had 2 really good back and forth games, and then the third game he has built out a ridiculous board. He's got an Oliphant, he's got the Old Man Willow or whatever it is. It's like a power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control, and when it attacks, you can sacrifice another creature and give target creature -2/-2 until end of turn. So he's attacking with that thing. He's killing my small creatures. I tap out to cast rare Gandalf, and I'm like, okay,
Which one?
the 5-mana one.
Okay.
It's the one that like can copy spells, and
Instant sorcery one.
the instant sorcery
It's
one.
like there's like
The three blue red Gandalf the Grey, and So when you cast instant or sorcery spell, you can either I think nug your opponent for 3, copy the spell, put Gandalf back on top of your deck, or I forget what the last one was. I'm holding on to Horses of the Bruinen. So I'm like, okay, if he doesn't kill my Gandalf and he doesn't kill me this turn, I think I can turn it around. Luckily, he did not do either of those things. I get to untap, cast Horses of the Bruinen, copy it, bounce his entire board, and then I start attacking, putting him on the back foot. And then I also had Flame of Anor in hand, so then next turn I go Flame of Anor, choose 2 modes because I have a wizard, nug you for 3, and attack with Eomer and killed him.
Would the scholars of this podcast refer to those as tempo plays?
Yeah, my 5 mana tempo play.
Yeah, apparently we don't know anything about tempo on this podcast.
No, tempo is just a concept.
So yeah,
It's a concept of a plan.
So basically, yeah. So it was. I don't know. I was not feeling great at the end of day 1, but at least I got that one match.
No, you came to the table quite tilted.
I was very tilted.
Yeah, afterwards, yeah.
Thankfully, we had some super sick dinner with some excellent cheese curds and roasted Brussels sprouts
Holy
with a
hell.
bazillion pounds
some
of butter
roasted
and
Brussels.
bacon.
Oh, yeah, I was also
and-
hangry.
Yeah,
I think
Thomas heard Brussels sprouts. And he's, hello.
As someone who's played many a Magic tournaments, hangry does happen.
Those Brussels sprouts were so good.
Yeah.
The best thing I ate all weekend, which is
Yeah.
wild. The prime rib was good too.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah, I
the Brussels
love
sprouts
that
were better than the prime rib.
Yeah, they
That's
were.
that's powerful.
They were.
That's powerful.
My second draft of the day, second and last draft of the day, I was feeling very defeated after 0-3ing the Reading Rainbow Cube, so I reordered my cube rankings because I said, screw this, I am going to play a cube where aggro is really good, and I'm going to force aggro. So this is a cube list that we talked about before, heading up to CubeCon, or while we're at CubeCon the first Airbnb night. It was called the Pro Tour Cube. So the stipulation was every card had to have 1A Pro Tour. So there are bangers like Oko next to Trade Wind Riders. Equally powerful cards.
Trade Wind Riders was a banger.
That
back in the
card
day.
was a
But-
banger back in the day.
In a cube with Dark Ritual, Necropotence, Oko.
It was legal in the time of Dark Ritual.
I fair, but in a cube with these Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Grief Fury, it shows its age quite well.
That's also true.
So I save this. I pack one, pick one Thoughtseize into Sensei's Divining Top. The following one, and I'm like, okay, I'm
Nice
very
aggro deck you've got
yeah,
there.
yeah. It just
Reasonable.
I don't think I had a white aggro card to choose from, the first 2 picks. So I'm like, I am okay being black X mid range here. I think at 3rd pick a Search for Azcanta, and then 4th pick I see a Thalia, Guardian of Raiden, and I'm like,
Finally.
yeah, I'm like,
You mean the
we're-
best card in the entire cube? I don't care what cube it is.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm
Clearly.
moving in. I don't care. I'm
Who
happy.
put Thalia in the Pro Tour queue?
Because it won a Pro Tour.
No. But who won with it? Was it Tom Martell?
Eli Loveman
Oh.
won with humans in Modern Pro Tour.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Hippo
get
knows his Thalia
Get your,
decks.
get your facts straight
He
there,
does.
Chief.
I'm not doubting that it won a Pro Tour.
Trust
I was just
me,
trying to
if that
remember
card's
which one
won a
it
Pro Tour,
was.
if that card's won a Pro Tour, I know about it.
And so this is the most unhinged draft I do all weekend, the draft process itself. So I 4th picked the Thalia, and I'm like, I'd be happy playing mono white splash black for Thoughtseize and some random removal spells I pick up. Then I get Thraben Inspector into
don't pass
Armageddon,
that. Ooh.
and then my next pack has Spectral Procession and what's Honor the Peer. Gives all your white creatures +1/+1.
Sure. Yep.
So I'm like, okay, mono white's open. 4 of these cards are going to come back around to me out of this pack with Spectral Procession and Honor the Peer, and I'm like, I bet Honor the Peer will come back first.
Ooh, interesting.
And
I would have
so-
taken Honor of the Pure.
So I picked up Spectral Procession. Then I get a couple other white. I get a Dauntless Bodyguard, then a Metallic Mimic, then an Aether Vial. So I'm like, okay, this is going so well. And then the rest of
James's
the pack,
eyes open up.
Hippo perked
the rest
up.
of the pack, no more white cards that Honor the Peer does not wheel. I'm like, okay, maybe the 5 people in front of me who saw those 2 cards together are like, no, this can't happen. I don't want to lose to that. I'm like, that's fair. Pack 2 happens. Didn't open any white cards coming around to me. So I'm like, okay, I start moving to red with On-Crop Crasher and Jackal Pup, but I pick up like a Muter Vault and like a Boros Signet and like a Flicker Wisp and a Zergo Bell Striker. So I'm like, okay, we're Boros beats now. We got this. And then just like
Boros.
Big Boros.
no, we're small Boros. Still, I am not seeing any white cards. I don't see another white card till pack 3 again.
You took pack 1, pick 1 Thoughtseize, pack 1, pick 3 Search for his content. What are you doing?
No, that's pack. Yeah, pack 1, pick 3 with Search for his content. Yeah. That's
He
this
showed
draft is
up with a game
wild.
plan.
This pack. This
I'm
going
gonna
to
draft aggro.
No,
draft Search for his Canton third
Thoughtseize.
There were not aggro cards in that pack.
Thoughtseizes could be an aggro card.
Yeah, I agree. But like pack 3, I pick up like a Sword of Fire and Ice, a Skirk, a Thalia's Lieutenant, a Banalish Marshal. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just got unlucky.
What was that
with
noise
white
you
cards.
just made?
Which ones?
The Skurg?
Skirk? Skrelv? Skrelv is like
Skrelv?
What did I say?
Skrelv?
Yeah,
You
Skrelv.
were like, yeah, then I saw a Skurg.
Skrelv. So like I start seeing white cards. I get like a Venerated Loxodon, Venerated Loxodon, a
Venerated
Sweetgrass.
Loxodon?
But like, so after this draft, I'm like, okay, I am Boros with my only fixing being Boros Signet and Cydia Brass. And I'm Boros with Spectral Procession and Banalish Marshal, 2 triple white cards, and a Mutavault in my deck. I'm like, I am here to game, motherfuckers. And I have so many 1-drop shitters. And like, I'm like, my
God,
deck
Cameron,
is
please.
terrible. Terrible. And I'm like, what happened? I'm like, who's taking my white cards? And like, I see like the Honor the Peer ends up in someone's draft pool who's like splashing white for the Kamigawa 6-mana dragon and like the Eternalized dragon.
Yep.
And like then they just have like Honor the Peer too, and I'm like, I wanted that so bad. So I'm like,
Do
okay,
you mean
maybe they hate
Timeless
it.
Dragon?
Timeless Dragon, yes, that
Card
one.
is fire.
It is fire, not quite with Honor the Pure. And then I look over and someone's like mono black splashing for Bramaz, and someone else is like splashing white for Hero the Blade Hold. I'm like, why did everybody decide to splash for double pipped white cards that I wanted? So it was kind of funny, but like game 1, I'm like, I was so low on my deck, and then I realized going turn 1 1-drop, turn 2 2 1-drops, turn 3 1-drop Venerated Loxodon, put a counter on everything, then like turn 4 kill you isn't terrible. And so like that's how I won game or match 1, like both games. I just 1-drop Venerated Loxodon kill you. Round 2, I played against this really cool dude named Alex. He ends up playing Pauper. We played some Pauper the following day and stuff. So
Sick.
yeah, he was a super cool dude.
Popper gets a shot at.
Yeah.
I knew this was a Pauper podcast.
And
Wait,
I just want to point out,
Butterfly meme. This is a Pauper podcast?
Is this a Popper podcast?
I just want to point out, Alex did not misplay at all. He played the game perfectly. You're welcome, Alex.
Wow.
No, he told me to say that.
He
So
told
he's
you
playing
or he
Is
paid-
It? In like
Yeah.
game 1, I get a sort of
inflate his ego.
yeah. He's playing Is It? Game 1, I land a Thalia and I equipped a Sword of Fire and Ice to it, and that kind of just like ran away with the game, believe it or not.
As your resident mono white gamer, sick.
Yeah. And like it was kind of funny because the Sword of Fire and Ice that game didn't look that good because he had like that 6-mana blue Eldrazi Drowner of Hope,
Yep.
and it's devoid.
Yeah.
And then like I think I ripped a Fireball and killed it with the Fireball. Like I spent like 7 mana to kill it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you playing Fireball in your Thalia deck?
Yeah. I'm also playing Spectral Procession and Sword of Fire and Ice.
Yeah, I don't
and
know if you
Gideon
missed the I don't know if you missed the memo on this one.
Yeah, and my deck is awful, but like it just like worked killing people. And so like I'm able to get around this Drowner with a Fireball, then Sword of Fire and Ice just like ran away with the game.
As it does.
Game 2, he goes turn 1 Ragavan. I go Mog Fanatic, kill your Ragavan. And it was just kind of like this slog beat fest. And I had like he Deceiver XR as a blocker, which is like super hard to get through. But I have like a Flicker Wisp and eventually a Spectral Procession like fly over him and like ended up getting there 2-0 in that game. And again, Alex, not misplay. Alex, it was a pleasure playing against you. You're hilarious. After the game, like we're chatting. I'm like at him on Discord and his mom calls him like, hey, your mom's calling you. And he's like, hey, mom, what's up? Oh, I just finished my match. Pretty cool, dude. Want to talk to him? It's just like, I met this guy once. He's like, hey, want to talk to my mom? That was so funny.
That's fun.
I just started cracking up.
Speaking of, can we talk to Edna?
No, we cannot talk to Edna.
Edna mode
So round 3
And
guest.
my opponent's playing like Simic ramp Nadu combo, and they start stabilizing at 6. I have this like really
This is for the trophy?
Yes, this is for the trophy.
Somehow, some way.
And they like play Amulet Titan, and I have this weird line where I Flicker Wisp their Amulet Titan so I can swing through on the ground. The next turn I can exert my on-crop Crasher
you were
and
telling me
swing
about
for
this
lethal.
one.
I'm sorry. What is Amulet Titan?
You know what I mean. The Titan. I call it...
Primeval
Prime
Titan?
time.
Yeah,
Did they
that
cast
thing.
Amulet of Vigor or
No,
Primeval Titan?
they cast Primeval Titan. I just call the card Amulet Titan because I'm a goofball. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
It's okay, we love you.
I was so confused.
But it was kind of funny because that turn where I flicker it and like, okay, next turn I have lethal. They need like 2 blockers just like live and stuff. And even then it's like I have this Flicker Wisp in the air. It's guaranteed a turn 2 clock. And they have like 2 cards in hand. They tank for a long time. And then they go Mindslaver, activate Mindslaver. And it was just Plague Wind, Time Walk crammed together. And I just know, and like I still had to play this glacially slow game because like they can't like swing to kill me because I have lethal. And like I have Fireball. So it's like every turn is live for me. They're at 6. And like the last turn I'm alive, I draw Sensei's Top Yes in my aggro deck with Thalia. And I have enough mana to go top, spin top. Do I have the burn spell? No, I don't. I lost that game. And then like game 2, I like mold to 5. And like I think I kept like 4 lands 1-drop or 3 lands 1-drop 1-drop, something really bad. And like they play a Pelucranos on turn 4, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't attack into that. I ripped 4 lands, and then at my 15 land deck, and my last draw is just Jackal Pup, and I'm staring at Pelucranos, this Jackal Pup. I'm like, you got it, man. And then my opponent was actually the owner of the Old Border Foil Cube, which I draft later, which was just awesome to draft, like super, super, super cool to draft. So yeah. Oh, it was Skrelv was one of my 1-drops. I have a poison counter here.
What's the next one you drafted?
Yeah, okay, you just want me to keep going?
I'm gonna make an editor's note. Can we speed through some of the
Yeah,
detailed notes, please?
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Dan is an A+ for
Yes,
summary.
I agree.
No, you guys just have better memories than me.
No, he just
I wrote everything
everything
down.
down.
He does this for Pauper too. Don't worry.
He does, yes.
I am detail oriented.
I just don't want to be editing for 6 hours tomorrow.
I want you to be edited.
But I will talk a little. I will talk a little
Okay, then I
longer
guess I'll
about
stay
my
broke.
trophies.
No.
We summarize the drafts where I did poorly, and we talk for a long time about the drafts where I did well.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
that's how we do it.
I'll buy you dinner for this episode,
Cameron,
Thomas.
Cameron likes to just talk about its drafts.
Yeah,
no matter how
because
they
it's
go.
just amazing weekend.
Yeah.
So we ate food. Like I said, we talked about food a little bit. It was great. Great cocktails. Waitress was super cool. Day 2, CubeCon.
Ba-na-na, ba-na-na.
This is Saturday now, right?
Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Dan and I watched some Always Sunny. That was great. But anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was my other favorite thing about the weekend is I got to introduce you to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is like one of my favorite shows of all time, and it is hilarious.
So the first cube I ended up drafting, this is the cube I wanted to draft the most of the weekend entirely. So I guess like I lied when I said Reading Rainbow was number 1. It was always Old Border Foil Cube was number 1 for me. Oh my god, like I love Old Border Foils. I love that aesthetic. My Peasant Cube has a lot of Old Border Foils. I like to save up cards and trade into expensive Old Border Foil cards and stuff. And like every pack that was passed me, I was just like edging just all over. I was
Were
just,
you
like,
tectonic edging?
I was tectonic edging everywhere. Like
So many elves were edged.
I would pick up a pack and I would just be like, oh, like 7th edition Birds of Paradise and 7th edition City of Brass was like in the same pack.
Yeah.
And I just to speak on this weekend, this is over $30,000 in a cube, and people are just like, yeah, all day. Let 8 strangers touch these cards.
Yep.
Just oh my gosh, the cube was beautiful.
Throughout the draft, the people to Cameron's left and right were like slowly scooching away. He was just like, and he was like, oh, every pick.
Yeah, I picked one exploration, and like I didn't want to do the enchantment stuff very much, and then I think I take exploration, Sigarda's Aid, And I think I took exploration for more like the combo potential with like upheaval and stuff. And I passed a what's Argothian, whatever, Enchantress, the one that draws cards and stuff.
Enchantress card, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then I got past Sigarda's Aid, and I'm like, okay, maybe that wheels. I pick up Sigarda's Aid, I pick up a Temple Garden, and I pick up like a Parallax Wave. But later in the pack, I get like days past me really late, and I'm like, then like Forbid, then like Wrath of God, and I'm like, Wrath of God wheeled out of this, and I'm like, okay, I am blue-white. I am going to be blue-white. I am the blue-white deck. I pick up, like, I could just, all these cards are just beautiful. I'm looking at a picture of my phone, like, Judge Promo Waste, just, like, old bordered foil, like, Replenish. I pick up, like, a foil. Everything's foil. Legacy, Urza's Legacy foil Masticore, which is just a house in this format. It's funny, I get to tell the story of, like, to the drafters of a table about how, I got some like Onslaught fetches that didn't turn out to be real and stuff, and so like that was kind of funny. I'm like, oh, this is what a real one looks like. Like I remember like picking up a Wooded Foothills. The guy's like, it's a Wooded Foothills. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at the card. It's beautiful. Just my deck was cool. It's everything I love doing in Cube, and it's just like in this format, like old border Magic. The threats aren't what they are now, so it's just your answers can be not quite as good. Like Wrath of God is just so good. Masticore is so good. Prophetic Bolt. Like cards just shine a lot more in this format. I don't know. I just had an absolute blast. Like the MVP,
They shine more.
They shine more.
They certainly
yes. Like the absolute MVP of like this draft for me, like I said, was this Masticore. I got to do like a lot of like tricky stuff. I got Stroke of Genius to draw me a ton of cards to keep my Masticore alive and stuff, and I got to make a really cool play where my opponent like blocked with their Spirit Monger. I'm like, okay, regenerate my Masticore, ping, they go regenerate. I'm like, ping, it's dead. And just like it just, I felt just at home completely. Like some of my notes is just like, holy hell, Masticore is so good. And like I gotta like forbid Factor Fiction, like lock somebody out of the game. Like just like I kept just feeling up my forbid, and just it was just so much fun. Like I lost the trophy match to a person. I was their first after Cube 4. I was their first game loss. Like they had not dropped the game. Yeah, it was crazy. And they drafted Black White Sludge, like Gerald's Verdicts, make me discard cards, equal number swamps they control, Plow Under, like just like Abzan control cannot beat this deck. Mesmery Fiend, Chthonian Nightmare, and Eternal Witness, because there were some Time Spout Remastered cards in there. And just like every card was like a must counter. And the only game I won against them is because I sideboarded in the 8 mana Achroma Angel of Wrath, I think is the name of the card. Achroma Angel of Wrath. It's a 6/6 with flying, first strike, trample, haste, protection from black and red, and vigilance.
Protection from black.
Because I felt very, very smart. I'm like, because I saw, I'm like, the only way I win this game is like, I cannot keep this card in my opening hand. My hand will be discarded eventually. I have to rip this card, and I ripped it against them when they were at 6, and I was dead the next turn, and they were just like in disbelief. And I kind of got to go like, wasn't lucky. I was playing towards my out, you know, like I know this is how I win. And it was so good. Then they just like pooped on me in the other 2 games. Like I had no business winning that game either, really, but just like, oh my gosh, this cube was insane. Like I just can't describe how awesome this cube was and stuff. Like I'm just looking at the picture. Beautiful.
That's awesome. That was another one. We're looking at the photos posted in Discord. I'm just like, wow, like the old border foil experience looks absolutely gorgeous.
It was quite like the privilege to draft this cube, really.
Hell yeah.
And probably my favorite card I drafted was Invasion Foil Factor Fiction, which isn't even that expensive, and it just looks stunning.
Oh yeah.
Same with Stroke of Genius. Oh my god. Okay. Ugh.
All right.
Okay, Cameron. Dan, what was?
Are you finished?
Put that one on the soundboard.
No, I felt really smart drafting. I ended up lightly splashing for like Prophetic Bolt in the flashback of that destroy target enchantment green flashback it. And So like that Temple Garden,
just
I picked
a little bit of
so like that Temple Garden paid off. A Steam Vents paid off. A Plateau paid off. So I felt big brain. That's it. Okay. Oh my god.
This is the first of Saturday, right? There's two drafts and then a cut, which we'll get to later.
That's turbo through the rest of us. Besides Matt's top 128 draft.
Yeah. Well, and there's more.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
There's
more.
More.
I'm Thomas. I'm buying you dinner. Are you cool with that? If I buy you dinner one day, I'm sorry.
We'll talk.
All right.
I'm in trouble.
So I'm going into day 2. Now I went 2-1 in the prelim draft, but my day 1 was 1-4-1 record. So I'm like, I am, after I got over my hanger, I'm like, all right, I'm just dead to rights to the top 128. I'm just gonna rank fun cubes. So the cube that I ranked number 1 in my choices was the 100 Ornithopter cube, which is a really cool concept. It's like the only creatures in the cube are Ornithopters, and the only way you can win is by using those Ornithopters. And they have a lot of like creative, they have like high alert creatures can deal damage equal to their toughness, but there's like a bunch of other creative cards that like boost those synergies. Anyway, that cube was very, very popular. I did not get it. I slid a bit down my list and ended up in the Curio cube. And the Curio cube is like an artifact and enchantment themed cube. The designer in their description of the cube wrote that like it started as a love letter to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which they loved as a draft format. I've drafted Neo maybe like once or twice. It's before I started playing, but it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun when I have drafted it. So I sit down at the Curio cube, and it's not an easy draft seat to start. I'm really kind of ducking and weaving between different colors. I go like pack 1, pick 1, get lost. Pack 1, pick 2, I believe, was a blue card, which didn't even make the final deck cut. It's Thought Monitor. It's basically like the Mole Drifter variant with like affinity for artifacts, like a 7-mana 2/2 affinity for artifacts. When enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. And then I go. And then my third pick is Vorinclex, the Praetor. So I'm like all over, like just all over the place because I'm not really seeing good follow-ups to each of these cards. I'm kind of bouncing and weaving. I eventually find my way into like a Simic lane. I get past a Kinnan Bonder Prodigy, and then I also get the 3-drop from Wilds of Eldraine, Troyan Gutsy Explorer, which is a 3-mana mana dork that taps for 2 mana, but only for cards with X in their casting cost or cards that cost 5 or more. Which was good because I ended up picking up a Hangerback Walker, which has X in its casting cost, and it's quite good when accelerated out.
Can confirm.
So I'm kind of like bouncing around. I pick up an Aethersworn Sphinx. I pick up some more Simic cards. I get some banned tapped artifact lands for my affinity creatures. I've got like a wedding announcement going. I've got like Assimilation Aegis. So I'm just like solidly in banned, and I've got the fixing to go with it. Then pack 2, I see the 4-mana Atraxa Praetor's Voice. It's the 4/4 Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, proliferate. I say, okay, I'm already in banned. Let me see if this comes back to me. So like as I'm going through the second pack, I pick up a couple items of black fixing, and Atraxa comes back to me. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. I didn't have at that point. I did not have enough black fixing to play it, and also wasn't powerful enough to play like just on its own to mess up my mana base for like a 4/4. So I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. Then go to pack 3. Pretty early on in pack 3, I am past a pack that has like a Godless Shrine and Big Daddy Atraxa the Grand Unifier, the 7/7 flyer that in this artifact and enchantment cube lets you look at the top 10 cards and pick up 1 card of each card type and put it in your hand. So I was like, okay, well, I don't have the fixing for this yet. I'm going to take Godless Shrine. I wield the little one. Let me see if I can wield the big one. And I wield it. It came back.
Let's go.
I took Big Daddy Atraxa.
Big Mommy Atraxa.
Big Mommy Atraxa. Sorry, I do not know the gender of Phyrexian horror monsters.
Reasonable.
And yeah, I ended up 3-0ing the cube quite handily.
Atraxa Tribal.
Love to hear a trophy. Love to hear a trophy.
Let's go.
And
Dan's comeback story.
Atraxa was absolutely Atraxa was kind of the MVP. The real MVP, and shout out to a guy in our playgroup, Joe Mitchell, who kind of showed me the power of this card. The real MVP was this big score card, Ancient Cornucopia, which is a 3-mana mana rock, taps for a mana of any color, but whenever you cast your first spell each turn, you gain 1 life for each color of that spell. So there were multiple games where I was like dead to rights, but I just kept casting 2 and 3 color spells with Ancient Cornucopia, managed to gain enough life, and then, found all my fixing, cast Atraxa, gain 4 life when I cast Atraxa, and also pick up like 8 cards.
Very powerful.
So that was, that was a super, super sweet comeback, and I had a really tight match against an opponent who was playing like a really good low to the ground green-white Enchantress, like +1/+1 counters synergy deck. They had this it's this 4 and a white enchantment that at the beginning of each end step you can like reanimate an enchantment from your graveyard, and then if you have 5 or more enchantments, all of your enchantments become creatures with power and toughness equal to their mana value.
Starfield of
Starfield
Nyx.
Yeah.
Starfield Nyx. So that has Starfield Nyx on the
6
board.
6 mana enchantment
5
from
mana.
5 mana enchantment from Origins.
No.
Journey to Nyx.
Journey to
No,
Nyx.
Yep.
no, it is Origins.
Oh, no,
so.
thank you.
Journey?
It
They
is Journey
also-
to Nyx.
They
Or
also,
sorry, Origins.
They had also cast Jugen Defends the Temple, which had flipped. So now every creature they can... And they also had that 5-mana
Spoiler alert.
Selesnya enchantment that gives all your creatures +1/+1, and when you
Mirari's
tap
Wake?
for a mana, any land for a mana, you make an additional mana.
Mirari's Wake.
Mirari's Wake, yeah. So they
Yeah.
were like... they every creature that they played came in with like 20 counters on it because they were tapping for double mana and just like dumping... and I was like chump blocking, trying to stay alive. I cast Atraxa, grab a whole bunch of cards. My opponent untaps, plays like some sort of Oblivion Ring enchantment to exile my Atraxa, goes for an Alpha Strike. I have enough creatures to like chump block and stay alive. But unfortunately for them, their Oblivion Ring was in fact their 5th enchantment, turning all of their enchantments to enchantment creatures. I untap and cast a Wrath, killing all their creatures, unlocking my Atraxa, re-enter the battlefield and grabbing like another 5 cards, and at this point my opponent scoops.
2 words. Bazinga.
Buzzinga, gross.
So I finally
That's
got to
sick.
get my nice enamel trophy pin,
hell
and
Let's
was
go.
not feeling so bad about myself
All right,
anymore.
let's speed round.
I got you.
Round 2. I drafted the spicy ramen cube, the second cube of the day. Again, it was.
Did Matt get to say his first one of day 2?
Did you say your first one? It
No.
doesn't matter. Let's skip it. No, I'm kidding. My bad. Back to Matt.
This whole day is going to take like
Cameron,
3
Cameron,
minutes.
We're fine.
Saturday, I drafted the Dragons of Winter's Night cube for my first run, which was
thematically, I love
super
this
cool.
cube,
It was
yeah.
a desert cube, so you have to draft every single land you want to play. There's no basic land station, and it's a very Vorthosy thematic cube. It's called Dragons of Winter's Night, so there's a lot of snow cards. All of the basics are snow lands. The only duels
It's very
are
Game
the-
of Thronesy.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the basics are snow basics, and all of the dual lands are the Kaldheim dual lands. So, snow lands, which means that all of the fetch lands you see can only ever fetch tapped lands, which is very interesting.
Okay.
And then the other aspect of it is there's a lot of dragons, because there's dragons in the name. That does not stop me from pack 1 pick wanting Polluted Delta over Windswept Heath and Flooded Strand. I ended the draft with 5 fetches, 5 duels, 5 basics, and 2 other lands surrounded.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 apples.
Match 1, and the deck that I ended up with, I don't know if this is a symptom of just the Desert Cube, you draft a million lands, or if this was just me being a bit of a not smart about it. 4-color control pile, just a bunch of bad removal
How
spells.
very Matt Sentilles of you.
Yeah,
An Anna pile.
yeah, a little
The
banana pile.
The banana
The
pile.
banana pile special.
Match 1, I play against Red-Green Ramp, just ramp into 1 million giant dinosaurs. Game 1 got dragoned. And then Game 2 and Game 3, Icy Manipulator did them down, which is a pretty good card.
You mean one of the best limited cards printers of all
I'm
time.
gonna skip match 2. Spoiler: I lose. I'm gonna come back to it. Match 3, I beat Green-White Enchantress, but it was interesting because the Enchantresses were all the creature ones, so they had like Argothian Enchantress, a Tessin Champion, and Sithis, but they're all creatures, and so the removal pile just killed their Enchantresses, and they never had like Enchantress's Presence, the enchantment.
Yeah.
Proper.
Isn't there one more? It's like Mesa Enchantress.
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
three
that
mana
was not
white
in the
01
cube,
or
I don't
02.
believe. But basically, all their Enchantresses were creatures. None were like an enchantment itself, so control
No Enchantress
pile
Presence.
just killed it all. So I won that. Lost match 2, so we're finishing match 1, and I hear to the right of me, I would like to demonstrate a loop. And I went, huh? Turned out to be my match 2 opponent who played just literally Modern Soul Trader combo. That is not an exaggeration. Neither game was close. His deck included Warren Soul Trader, Mayhem Devil, Gravecrawler, Carrion Feeder, Elos Ilkor, Unearth, Quest for the Grave Lord as reanimation backup, and Luris. I just the games were not close. Game 1, he combo killed me on turn 5 through 2 removal spells. I'm looking at my hand. It's like black sorcery, destroy target tapped creature, and he's playing Luris, and I was just like, this seems better than what I'm doing.
That's very snow and dragon themed.
Yeah, so
they were playing a
zombies
different
was
cube.
one of the archetype themes.
Oh, Game
this
of
was not
Thrones.
zombies. Yeah. This was not zombies. This was I died.
Yeah.
They were playing a different cube than you were.
Yeah, there was something in the water. So I finished 2-1, losing to again literal Modern Soul Trader combo. Second draft Saturday, I played the regular cube, which was all about regular stuff. I believe this was made by one of the Lucky Paper Radio
Yes,
hosts.
Anthony Maddox.
That guy. It was a good time. A lot of regular stuff. Striving to have non-complicated cards and regular interactions. Pack one, pick one was Baleful Strix into Ephemerate, and I am a sucker for Ephemerate. Kind of didn't get there. Part of the main problem with the deck was didn't have enough good Ephemerate targets. Pack 3 I open and there's Fiend Hunter, Mole Drifter, and some other card I really want that's got a good ETB. And I'm just like, all right, I'll take the Fiend Hunter. I did get to kind of cheese people with the Fiend Hunter trigger on the stack, Ephemerate, but just didn't have enough good creatures. Blue-White was the open seat, but I think just generic control pile might have been the more open deck instead of the Ephemerate stuff. Match 1, I win against Sultai, +1/+1 counters, because trying to put counters on a creature is bad against 1 million bounce spells. Then match 2 and match 3 both just kind of dumpstered me. Match 2 was against green-white tokens, no chance. Match 3 was against green-white aggro, no chance. So 1-2, kind of a medium day, finished 3-3 on the day, but was just barely, well, not just barely, kind of just barely made the top 128. I think I finished in 60 something.
Heck yeah.
Sick.
That's not barely. That's great. That's top
I'm
half.
so sorry. I don't think I ever asked how many people were there this weekend.
600.
600 people.
It was I
600-ish.
was I think between 500 and 550. The
Okay.
cap was 600.
I thought I thought I saw some of the stuff filled up to 580. I don't know.
I imagine
I don't know.
not all. I imagine not
Definitely over
everyone is
500.
playing the main event.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
probably somewhere around 500-ish in the main
So
competing
this
in the
is-
main event.
So this is definitely an event that is likely to grow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
like-
grown.
absolutely.
It's grown
I
every
Obviously,
year.
it's grown even
Yeah.
since the 2 prior years.
Yeah.
But it's even likely to grow more.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
off
For
of
sure.
Off of
Yeah.
this, which is really cool.
Cameron, what was your second day of drafts? And then we'll get back to Dan's second draft.
So I drafted the spicy ramen cube that Dan has mentioned. He drafted day 1, and that was designed by somebody I went to college with, and I decided to draft it just because talking to them and just how much care and time and effort they put in this cube. It is so apparent, and it's very regular cube X esque, and it's just very much, you can tell it is just a lot of thought was put into it and stuff. And I appreciate the aesthetics too of just only original printing cards and stuff, so you can look at the card and know what it is, no foils, all that. Our buddy Everett would like this a lot because of that. And I ended up drafting this Rakdos sack deck. If hindsight was 50-50, or hindsight is 50-50, Matt, would you like to give me crap on that? But I love you.
No comment.
Okay. Hindsight's like 50-50, obviously. Like my deck was fine. It was pretty good. But like later I like end up like wheeling Ephemerate, which I spec on, and then like pack 3 I get like a super late like Soul Herder, and like pack 1 I pass like Ghostly Flicker. And so like the normal stuff I like doing in cubes was clearly so open. But, like, also these Rakdos Sack cards were wheeling like crazy, so I just, like, stuck to my guns and, like, kept drafting this Rakdos Sack deck. And, like, it was a fine deck. Like, nothing, like, too of note. A lot of the games I ended up winning, like, I got, like, really good value out of Claim of Fame and, like, sacking it to a Makeshift Munitions to, like, kill 2 other things and just, like, getting in for damage that turn, too. Deep Cavern Bat was super busted, too. Just turns out the card's amazing. And Skargan Hellkite, that creature from Guilds of Ravnica, that has Riot and it can like pay 4 to deal 2 to something device you
Your
choose.
standard like 5-mana mythic dragon.
Yeah, and like
that set.
that finished a lot of games for me. I did have like, it was really weird. Victimize is a card that I'm like usually like really, really high on, and it just turned out to be like awkward in a lot of my games. And like I ended up going 1-2 in this cube and just had like the 2 games I lost just had like 3 super, super close games that could have broke either way. So it was it went good. I really enjoyed the cube. Like I liked my deck a lot. It was great. Like nothing crazy happened of note in my games. I also had like Lunar Aspirant, so like I had a couple games where like Bat and Luminarch Aspirant was super good. Just like Bat growing very sizable and swinging in the air if lifelink like would win me a game and stuff like that. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was nice to play some nice, simple down Magic that day because I went from the old Border Foil cube to this cube where nothing was like super outrageous crazy. There were a few like Doctor Who random includes I had to read, but like they weren't anything like atrocious or nothing like that. It was very, very fun. Thank you, Matthew, for this cube design. It was great. Not you, Sentilles.
Just catching straight.
No. I get you caught the first stray because I said 50-50 and you gave me so much crap one day. Yeah. But it means the same as 2020. That is my recap on the Spicy Ramen Cube. It was a blast to play, and I got to eat ramen, but not the same day.
What was your second draft?
That was
my second
That was?
draft. Mm-hmm.
Did you already talk about your first one?
Old Border Foil.
Old Border Foil.
Oh, sick. Dan, what was your second draft of the day?
My second draft of day 2
So
was the Tempo Cube.
Yes, this was oh my god.
This cube was, I think, my favorite draft that I did. I think this is just like the type of way I like to draft and gameplay. So the stipulation of the cube is that there are no spells that cost more than 3 mana, and it's really all about getting on board early. Like getting ahead and staying ahead is super duper important. And so my pack 1, of course, I ended up taking an expensive pack 1 pick 1, because it like almost kicked my butt in the Curio Cube, which was Jugan Defends the Temple.
So my one question is it basically every 2-for-1 and is insane.
Yeah, 2-for-1s are quite good.
Just absolutely insane.
Just like you really want to have like cheap interaction because like there are a lot of threats in the cube that like if they go unchecked, they grow out of control.
So something like an Electrolyze would be insane in this type of cube. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I pack 1 pick 1. Jugan Defends the Temple. And quickly found myself into a nice Gruul lane with a lot of cheap interaction. Like I had a tail swipe, hard hitting questions. Somebody like clearly did not realize the power level of this card in this type of cube and passed. I got like a pack 2 pick 3 Dismember, which like should just never not be taken. Like that is like if you see Dismember in a cube like that, you take Dismember.
Even the vintage
cube.
Again, you say even speaking on the vintage cube side, that card is a very high pick in the vintage cube.
Yeah.
It goes in any deck.
Yeah,
because it's just it's a colorless removal.
Yeah,
spell.
I had 3 Phyrexian mana spells that I splashed and was very happy with. It was that Apostle's Blessing and Porcelain Legionnaire.
That card is also a member in the vintage cube.
Ended up in like Gruul. It's just like Gruul, tiny monsters. I had some ways of gaining like card advantage. I had what did I have here? The Questing Druid, the adventure side of Questing Druid could draw me some cards. I had the Duskmorn Painter's Studio / Defaced Gallery, and also on my top end, I had Draconic Destiny, which is one of my favorite mythics from Brothers War. It's like an enchantment that turns your creature into a flying dragon with fire-breathing ability, and when the creature dies, the enchantment goes back to your hand.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But the real MVPs for me were the one-drop creatures that made it hard or impossible to destroy my creatures, which were Paw Patch Recruit from Bloomburrow. Because every time you try to kill one of my creatures, spread around some counters, and Sylvan Safekeeper, which is absolutely nuts in that cube.
Can confirm that card is also very good in Vintage Cube.
Like in the trophy match, my game 2, my opponent goes to kill one. I forget which creature they're going to kill, and I sacked my second land with Sylvan Safekeeper to keep the creature alive, and he's like, well, that's a choice you can make, and I'm like, that was 1,000% the correct choice, and it went on to handily win 2-0.
I'm glad you won that game in that match.
Invitational cards. Did you know that's an invitational card?
No.
So that was won by
Ole Rod.
Ole Rod. That was their invitational card back in like 1997, 98.
Red Green
98.
Spiders.
Yeah, so if they won a Pro Tour with like a Red Green Spiders deck like in like a million years ago. But that card is very, very sick.
Yeah.
Love that card in Vintage Cube.
Yeah,
So-
this was another one of the decks that was posted, and this might have been my favorite deck out of all the ones that got posted. This is like right up my alley too.
I had
Just, like,
so much
hard-hitting,
fun.
easy stuff. There's just like hard hitting, cheap stuff, and just like being aggressive and assertive, but also having like a game plan to play into late game.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
well
so
it's
much
like
value.
I mean,
and-
every game played like a tempo game. Like you just want to be on the front foot, and if you can get on the front foot and stay there for 1 or 2 turns, you win. It's like spirits, right? Like with spirits, you get on the front foot and then you hold up all the interaction. They can't do anything.
Oh,
You
yeah,
just lock
baby.
them out of the game.
yeah, no wonder I like this.
Tempo.
So
And you got the trophy.
and I ended up getting the trophy, and somehow managed to scrape my way back from a terrible performance on day 1 and ended up in the top 128.
Casual 6-0 on
Just casual, just
Yeah.
got a 6-0 day 2. Just no big deal.
They call him Mr. Perfection for a reason.
So
Hey.
at this point, all my friends have made
The top 128.
128 except for me, and so I'm just like,
Oh yeah, and
"Aw."
shout out to Everett who had
Oh,
like
my
3
gosh.
trophies and was like,
He
what
was-
was he like
He was like
number
fourth.
10?
He was like fourth
he
place
was
or whatever.
11.
He was-
for
yeah,
a
he was
point.
11
Well, he was-
going into the top 128.
Well, he was fourth going into day 2, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, he
wild.
trophied the Ikoria, Graveyard, and Amonkar Desert
And
cubes
just
in
like
the Swiss.
shout out to Everett. I burned him playing the Ikoria cube a couple times, and he was just like at home, blocked
That is
in,
like
comfortable.
home field advantage for
It-
him.
it was-
This
it was
is
cool.
his element.
Yeah, he
if he
loves
sees
Ikoria.
weaponize the monsters, it's just shut it down. The
Yeah.
trophy's his, hand it over.
It, like bird. I gotta like. It was fun to bird games during the top 128. I won't lie. Like I gotta watch Gavin Verhey play a peasant cube, and I've never seen him play Magic before. He is not his bubbly self like you see on Good Morning Magic. He is locked in, not talking, like no table banter. He is locked in, focused, playing,
ready
like
to go.
yes, and just like
Sick.
table mannerisms perfect. Has like the good flick and the snap and like the thinking and stuff. The stuff that I like to do that I try very hard and practice my table manners and
Okay,
stuff. And
I will say you do not have to flick your cards to be a good Magic player.
I don't know. I think you do.
Thank you.
And,
Dan.
I don't know. It's like the thing that people do that I'm just like, why are you doing that?
Everybody's got their own table mannerisms.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I'm super OCD about where I place my cards, so it's like,
It was really funny. So y'all, real quick, y'all start the top 128 draft, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get food. I'm like, do you guys want anything? Matt, you're like, no, I'm fine. Dan, like, nah, you're fine. Everett's like, yeah, I'll take something that's like good cold, because just like go eat your food, wind down for a second, because like this was like the FOMO I felt, because my friends gotta draft another cube, and I'm like, I gotta go find my own thing to do. So like I go get food. I'm really hungry. That's nice. I come back inside. I go up to the Value Vintage people, and they're so chill. They're all from Sentilles, and they're just like awesome people. And I see like I play red black scam against one of them. One of them's drinking a Miller Lite, and I'm like, yo, where did you get that? Like, just the concessions. And so I start dual akimbo white clawing.
Oh my
And,
god.
I played some Value Vintage. I walk up to Everett with my white claws, and he's like, did you grab me food? I'm like, no. Do you want a white claw though? And I'm just like, man, I'm a bad friend. I'm so sorry. He's like, no, you're fine. It was great. I got to cool off some steam there. Not I wasn't mad or anything, but like I got to like hang out with the Value Vintage guys. I guess it was really cool, and I bird some incredible matches. Again, like it was really cool watching Gavin Verhey play. I watched him have that 4-mana pro black creature in a peasant cube, and his opponent attacks with a 1/1 black rat death touch token, and Gavin just like pushes his creature up and says block, and he's like damage, and the guy's like yeah, and Gavin just like the guy puts his token away and Gavin just slides his creature back, like doesn't even like announce like yeah it's still alive. The guy's like he's like trade death touch, and he's like pro black. I had to walk away from the table so I didn't like interrupt them or anything. It was cool. Oh man, I didn't get to plug the pod to Gavin. I wanted to.
Yeah, you gotta get up there. You gotta be
he
bold.
was intimidating to watch play.
No, that's fine.
He would have scared me if I was sitting across from him. Yeah. But it's funny because like afterwards he's his normal like nice self.
True. So then you guys got to draft. The two of you and Everett got to draft in the 128, and I think it was if you 2-1 or better, then you get to play.
Yeah,
you had to play
64.
Did you have to play in the trophy match to go?
No,
or if you,
this was just if you finished 2-1 or better, you moved on to the next day, which is a cut to top 64. So 200 better, that's half the pod. Cut the field from 128 to 64.
Okay. Yeah. And then if you 3-0 day that day, then you go on to the final. It's just final 8 people because it's 8 pods,
right?
8 trophies.
Yeah, if you trophy the 64. Yeah.
Dan, what did you play in your top 128 draft?
So I queued into the Mad Cube, which you had talked about. You played that on the prelim day, right? Mm-hmm. And the Mad Cube, my impression of it was I guess, and I was kind of like reading the description a bit. I think it started off as like a commander cube or like a cube to introduce commander players to cubing, which kind of makes sense because like, at least my impression of it is it's basically just like haymakers.cube. Like every card is like there are a lot of expensive cards with like a lot of powerful effects. I ended up in like a Jund like monsters deck. It was kind of like Gruul monsters, but I was splashing black for like all of my removal. Yeah, I don't remember what my pack.
I do remember you saying that this was definitely like if I were to draft a commander cube without actually drafting like commanders in the cube, just like a bunch of haymaker like 5+ drops.
Yeah, exactly. Like the haymakers in my deck were I had 2 versions of Kogla. I had Kogla the Titan Ape from Ikoria, and then Kogla and Yadaro from Marcha Machine. I also had the Bonehorde Dracosaur, Igra, Eater of All, Hana and Elena Partners. So like a bunch of just like big things. But there was not much mana acceleration in this cube, and they did that by choice. So all I had for acceleration was like a 2-mana Dork, the Goldvein Hydra, which is the OTJ, X and a green Vigilance, Trample, Haste, comes in with X counters on it, and then when it dies, you make tap treasure equal to its power, and this commander card, this Bloomburrow commander card, Brightcap Badger, which is like an adventure card. The adventure side is like 3 mana, make 2 1/1 Saprolings, and then the creature side is 4 mana, 3/4 that says your Saprolings tap for green, and at the beginning of your end step, make another Saproling.
Yep, I also played.
That card was like super powerful.
Yeah. I punted with it because I didn't realize the adventure side was an instant. I cast as a sorcery, and I told my opponent, like, you're going to cast a Wrath next turn, and they casted a Wrath next turn, and I'm like, that felt bad.
There are a lot of Wraths in that cube, as I found out. Yeah. So a lot of haymakers, not a lot of acceleration. I felt like I found a reasonable lane, though, and unfortunately, I just got stuck on lands too many times. And in that cube, like, it's not, as you said when you were talking about it, it's like, it's not getting stuck on 3 lands. Like you need to hit your
I said
4th,
that.
5th, 6th, 7th.
I said that
land
about the old
drops.
bordered foil cube.
Oh, you said
or not
sorry.
I'm not the old bordered foil cube. The Reading Rainbow cube.
Oh yeah,
excuse me.
yeah. So this was kind of like
It
was
is
like it in that
similar-ish
regard. It
vibes.
was
I
just
feel
like
like
a
this
lot of
cube-
haymakers,
yeah.
and like you have to. In retrospect, I absolutely should have run at least 18 lands. I was running 17, and.
I feel like this cube had a little bit more synergy than the Reading Rainbow.
Yeah,
cube
there was
still.
there was some synergy going on, but not much. It was a lot of like big haymakers, and also my round 1 opponent basically had like the nuts for a cube like that, which is like blue mana and counter spells. Because when your opponents are tapping out for haymakers and you cast a smirking spelljacker and take their Kogla and your Yadaro or their Chandra and -5 and nug 2 of their creatures, you're going to have a bad time.
Got your spells jacked.
My spells did indeed get jacked.
You pizza before you French fried and you had a bad time.
I did pizza before I French fried, and therefore I had a bad time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I lost that match. Played another match. My opponent was like green white tokeny stuff. They had Enduring Innocence from Duskborn. Whenever you get a creature with power 2 or less, you draw a card. They also had Innkeeper's Talent, put a counter on your creatures. They also had this this it was like an artifact or an enchantment that's like landfall, make a 2/2. And then they also had some artifact that was like when a counter goes on a creature you control, you can pay 1 mana to make a 1/1. And
servos.
yeah, servos.
Yep.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, I think we were both misplaying Enduring Innocence in that like we treated it as though it wasn't gated once per turn when it in fact was gated once per turn. And so my opponent would go landfall, make a 2/2, draw a card, go to combat, put a counter on my 2/2, pay 1 and make a 1/1, draw a card. And this is like happening every turn. And it was just like I just cannot deal with this.
Yeah.
And all of those things were like artifacts and enchantments. I didn't have any disenchants, like, so it's just like sometimes you can't win them all. And my opponents were very good Magic players. They had some very sweet decks, and I went 0-2 and drop. But I was super stoked, honestly, just to make the cut.
What a comeback!
Yeah, an awesome comeback. Double trophies to get to play.
Got 2 pins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. A couple of pins.
Absolutely. Sick. Yeah. So it was dope. CubeCon is incredible.
Yeah,
amazing.
Sure.
I for sure know that I will personally be going next year.
Oh, for sure.
Same.
For sure.
We're gonna need a bigger Airbnb.
We're gonna need a bigger
Preferably
Airbnb.
closer,
We're gonna
so
need a bigger
just
boat.
in case there's no car accident on the highway like when we left.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that didn't happen. Why we're going with CubeCon?
All right, Matty Ice, take it away.
Matty Ice,
So,
good,
for
Matty
the-
Ice.
Top 128 player draft. Also, quickly say Everett got into his Ikoria cube. Like I said, basically home field advantage, win, loss, win. I don't think he ever sweated it. It was a lock.
It was really cool that I birded his game, and like he got to witness a side of you, camp counselor Silly Sentilles. He got to witness a new side of me, like serious Magic Cameron, where he's like, I have never seen you so stoic before because I'm birding his game straight faced.
Yeah.
And just like watching, like no emotion.
Cameron has the biggest RBF when he's watching somebody play Magic that I've ever seen. It's just like brow furrowed, like intensely watching.
Yeah.
As you should. You can't give away any emotional
Exactly.
information.
Should have watched me at this RCQ this last week.
Oh my goodness. I wish I could have.
So like I said, Everett kind of very easily made it through his 128. I got paired into the Atomic Cube again. This was the same one I drafted Thursday for the prequel draft.
You love that cube.
I guess, yes, this was my favorite cube of the weekend. Again, just very low to the ground, tempo-focused Legacy
Beautiful.
cube. Very beautiful. A lot of one drops in every single color. Just from turn one, got to put the pedal to the metal. So, pack one, pick one. Luminarch Aspirant, not my favorite card I could have opened, but I had a a game plan to draft
dude,
a white
Luminarch Aspirin is
aggressive
excellent.
That card is so good.
It's a little worse than Swords to
channeling
Plowshares.
It is worse than Swords to
But,
Plowshares.
you know, all right, we're fine.
He's not a believer in the old cards.
Waffled around the rest of Pack 1 in an Esper space. Wasn't sure if I was reactive or proactive. Spec'd on a lot of Esper duels, which ended up working out. Not sure if I was going to be proactive with this Luminarch Aspirant or reactive with, like, I picked up a Mana Leak at some point until Pack 2, Pick 3 is like, oh, here's where all the white proactive cards are. Take Mother of Runes, wheel Giver of Runes in the same pack.
Oh, man.
We have
Be
firmly...
still my beating heart.
We have
I did
firmly
not
solidified ourselves into white for sure.
Oh, I
and then
did
Pack
skip it.
3, Pick 1, open Thoughtseize, locked in black as the
Wow.
second main color. Thinking I'm basically straight white-black until Pack 3, Pick 6, Psychic Frog.
Ooh.
All those blue
Psychic
duels,
Hog?
Psychic Frog.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those.
All
way better than
the
other.
random Esper lands that I kind of spec'd with in Pack 1 came back in glorious form. Ended up with 5 blue sources without having to play in single island for just Psychic Frog.
That is a beautiful thing to me.
That
Just like
is-
Slash without any basics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I know that comes up. I can say a lot in the vintage cube. This is like spec taking lanes for later cards
Yeah.
that you might
Yep.
get. Like you say you're drafting like mono white, for example, and then you take up like a Boros land, and then you get rewarded for your Boros land in like Pack 3 by
fourth
taking a
Earlingus.
fourth Earlingus
Right.
specifically.
That's
like
definitely
that's like the dream, and that's what.
Yeah,
Sentilles
you were talking
experienced.
earlier about like the dichotomy between specking on powerful cards versus the fixing to cast them. I'm firmly in camp fixing. Like I am no qualms taking fetch lands Pack 1 Pick 1 over pretty much anything short of something like Swords to Plowshares.
and that concept is like very much just not
It-
vintage cube.
and-
That's like every
And
cube.
say that's not even just that cube as
A
you're
good
saying.
amount
Like
of cubes.
that's a lot of that's a lot of different cubes, and it also it changes per cube too. Like
Right,
For
like
sure.
Dan was saying
like
earlier,
Dan like Dan had a cube where he was like, hey, the fixing doesn't matter nearly as much as like the power level of the cards do. So it's a cube, obviously, as you've heard across this episode, is like a huge boon of like what is correct, what's not, and like using your heuristics to know what's what to do across these cubes is super sick, and I cannot wait to go next year.
Absolutely. So, like I said, end up in a white-black aggressive deck, splashing blue for Psychic Frog. Thraben Inspector is in it, so I'm feeling good. Match 1, I play against red-green ramp. Game 1, he's on the play, goes turn 1 Birds. I go turn 1 Thoughtseize and see a 5-mana Chandra, 5-mana Titania, Bone Crusher Giant, and lands. And I said, sick, I'll take that Bone Crusher Giant. Do nothing for 4 turns, please. And then he draws off the top, and it's Werewolf Pack Leader. It's a 2-mana 3/3. And I went, that's pretty good. I play some 2-drop, and he goes, cool, turn 3, rips off the top, gut. It's like, okay, game's over, pack it up. Game 2 was a little bit closer. It was more of a slog. We had some wars over the graveyard between my Lion Sash and his Scrap Shooter from Bloomborough. We keep like exiling each other, like stuff in
Triggers.
response.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
cool.
know. It was
That's cool.
weird. I was trying to kill him in the air with Zoraline, but he always had 2 flyers after casting Mockingbird on my Clarion Spirit to just make a bunch of flying blockers. I had the 1 removal spell in hand to be able to have flying lethal, but never had the second one to get rid of the random spirit that he always smartly left behind. So lose the first match, not feeling great. Match 2, go into blue-white control. Game 1, attacked a lot, Thoughtseize his 3 fairy. Not really a whole lot to write about. Game 2, he got me with a 3 fairy into an instant speed balance, which was pretty funny. But I had a good
Notably
bit of
does
resilience.
not hit planeswalkers.
Notably does not hit Planeswalker for some reason.
Yeah,
Turns out.
big over.
Turns out that card was printed before Planeswalker.
Yeah.
or
Turns
even
out.
a thought.
So that was just Plague Wind against me. But we had an interesting match where we were kind of both drawing hot nothing, but I had a Braids Arisen Nightmare in play and was sacrificing lands to force him to keep sacrificing lands, which kept his Retrofitter Foundry at bay. He always had just enough mana to kind of help stabilize a little bit, but never enough to fully let it take over the game because Braids was sacrificing lands. So got that match.
Sick.
Love it. This is
Yep.
this is the new braids, not the old braids, correct?
Correct. This is
Well,
3
sorry, I'm sorry, there are 3 braids. This is the
This is 1 black,
the-
3/3
yes.
end step, sack
This is
something.
the
Your
new-
opponent can sack something similar or let you draw a card.
Yeah, this is the newest braids. Okay.
Correct.
Cool.
So match 3, this is it. Like winner die.
Winning
in. There we
the top
go.
64.
Winner
Winner die.
to make to the top 64.
No, you get murdered if you
play
lose.
against red-white aggro. Game 1, I am completely trounced by a card, Felia. If you've heard of it, I had it in the first draft I did of the Atomic Cube. It is an unbelievably busted card. That
Felia is a good doggy.
Felia was a bad dog. Let me tell you what. I got completely trounced by it game 1. Game 2, I at some point cast an Anointed Peacekeeper to keep the Felia from being cast until they had 4 mana. Then they cast a Blade Splicer, and I think, you know what? There's a card in my deck that I'd really like to draw right now, and I draw it, and so I attack with the Anointed Peacekeeper. He blocks with his 3/3 first striking golem, and I cast Harm's Way.
Oh my gosh.
To redirect 2 damage from the golem to any other target of my choice. So I get to redirect the 2 damage that his golem would deal to his Esper Sentinel, eating the golem in combat and taking out the Esper Sentinel. I said, way to go, deck. Thanks for that one. By the time he finally casts Felia, I rip an oust off the top to get rid of it, and then the game was kind of over. Game 3 was probably the most tense game of Magic I played over the entire weekend.
I got to bird this one, and my heart was pounding out of my chest.
He's on the play, obviously, red-white aggro, beating me down. I'm sort of kind of stabilizing. At some point, he casts Felia and attacks to blink my Kitesail Freebooter, gets back his Forked Bolt, casts it to kill one of my things, which is pretty good. At this point, I'm able to kill Felia, which is nice because otherwise I'm going to instant concede to it. Now I've got this Kitesail Freebooter hanging out. At some point, Luminarch Aspirant hits the field for me, and I start putting counters on the Freebooter to make progress, chipping away at his life total. Eventually, best draw on my deck, Lingering Souls.
Which before though, like when I saw you attack with Luminarch Aspirant, I'm like, oh, he's racing because you're at a way lower life total than your opponent, but you have like this
Correct.
Mutavart Luminarch Aspirant, and there was a turn where your opponent like just didn't attack with Karizev. I don't know if they're scared they're going to lose it, but the Karizev has first strike menace, and the Aspirant's just a 1/1, so like there's no way you can double block and kill it.
Right. At
Yeah.
some point, they cast Tide Hollow Sculler when I have 1 card in my hand. I said, cool, please take this Bitter Blossom. I don't want it. I'm never casting it. I'm at 6 life. And so after they do that as a turn, I rip Lingering Souls. I start attacking with the Freebooter. I have 6 mana, and I go, okay, Lingering Souls, flashback Lingering Souls. And he goes, okay, oh, wait a minute, Esper Sentinel triggers. And I'm like, crap, I forgot about that. Okay, I've got this 1 other mana. I'll pay for the first one. You can draw a card off the second one. He goes, okay, and he draws a card. And all of a sudden I hear, Judge Esper Sentinel only triggers the first non-creature spell cast each turn.
No, that's not. I yelled. I went. I didn't say anything until the judge was over. I said, Judge, and he went to go draw. Like he was drawing his card, and I put my hand like kind of like between the play mats, like hovering. I'm like, stop playing, Judge.
Yeah, so
And
then,
the judge pops up. I'm like, Esper Sentinel only triggers once per turn.
yes.
Yeah, I could have used you against that Enduring.
Yeah, that's my bad, Dan. I wasn't there.
Yeah, so
I failed you. I'm sorry.
I heard my swift savior behind me, not Meneldor from Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth, but Cameron Schindler.
That's funny.
Keeping things honest. There was no shenanigans happening. I pretty clearly just forgot how Esper Sentinel worked.
And
I tried to let him draw a card.
So did your opponent.
I wasn't trying to cast it, flash it back. Oh, you missed your trigger. Like clearly, I was going to let him draw a card when he on the second cast for some reason. I think he just forgot it worked as well because the guy was super nice the whole time. Very clean play all around. But yeah, I definitely owe that one because we're one of the last matches at this point.
I got you, Boo Bear.
Absolutely. And so he starts makes an attack on his turn. I block such with the Mutavault and the Lingering Souls such that I keep a decent number of souls around, but go to 3. He has demonstrated previously in the match, like the Forked Bolt, ways to deal 2 to me, but not any way to deal 3. Turns out looking at the cube list after, Lightning Bolt was the only card that deals 3 to the face, and he hasn't shown it to me all match. I'm like, okay, I feel okay going to 3, but not 2. I take my turn again, and I draw the Psychic Frog and look down at Plains Swamp, Plains Mutavault. Like, well, that's great.
Nice.
But I'm still attacking with the Freebooter. I attack such that next turn, it plus either another counter from Lunarch or a Spirit is lethal. He draws, attacks with everything. I animate the Mutavault and block such that I go to 1, because really at this point I don't have a way to stay at 3 without sacrificing the ability to go for lethal next turn.
You played to win.
Which, yeah, I can't beat. Yep. And so I go to 1, and he's got 2 cards in his hand, and he slaps down, planes Adanto Vanguard, and says GG. And so this point, it's like almost 11 p.m. We've been cubing for 14 straight hours. Woo. We run to Culver's, eat food as fast as we possibly can, run back, go to bed, because Everett and I have to wake up at like 6:45.
Dan and I didn't go to bed.
Yeah,
we had a couple drinks and watched Sunny.
Much better time. We run, so Everett and I run back. They like throw up the top 8 cubes to rank. We're like trying to figure out what the best thing to do about it. We have to wake up at like 6:45 to make it back to the convention hall at 8 to start. Sunday, we both get paired into the same cube, which is kind of funny. It was the Vistas Unventured, another desert cube. Which is interesting. I drafted red-white, like aggro tokens. Again, pack 1, pick 1 Bloodstain Mire over a Verdant Catacombs. Feel very good taking fetch lands in a desert cube. Pick 2 Flicker Wisp. Still channeling the hippo.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Red-white felt open the whole way. Wasn't really, problem finding the open lane. The only pick that I kind of ended up regretting was a Heartfire Duelist, a red-white adventure card from Wilds of Eldraine. Good card, but I tried to take it over 2 basic planes, pack 3, pick 4, which I ended up regretting because neither planes wield, and not having a planes to fetch off of my Prismatic Vista meant that my number of turn 1 untapped white sources
I'm so sorry,
limited.
hold on. You have to draft your basics?
Yes, this was a desert cube.
Desert cube.
You have no access to basic lands at the end.
Welcome to the desert, baby.
Oh,
yeah, Desert Cube is sick.
Yes.
Dude, I actually, I'm sad that I didn't get to draft any of the desert cubes. And
it was a very
I kind of want to put
interesting
one
experience.
together. I feel like someone in our play group should have a desert cube.
Yes.
Everett had very high praise for the Amonkard Desert Cube that he got to draft.
This sounds incredibly difficult.
I might.
It was interesting for sure. It adds a lot of dynamics to the draft.
And the packs are a little bigger too.
Right. So I end up in, like I said, red-white tokens. I definitely came in with some preconceived notions about wanting to draft aggro. I think I missed the mark in the sense that looking at the cards in the packs, it was like Ishkana the Graph Widow and the Mimeoplasm. And I basically read these cards and I was like, big, dumb, don't want it, take attacker, go. Which, like I said, red-white was the open seat, but what I was trying to do was just draft like little attackers, whereas I should have been thinking bigger, because the red-white stated theme is like casting cards from exile and synergies with like conspiracy theorists and 2-mana Pia Nalar from Aftermath, which was you cast things from exile. I wasn't thinking big enough. I was just thinking attacking, and it kind of just got outvalued pretty easily. Like match 1, I played against Esper Blink, which lost to game 3. We're going to game 3. Okay, let's try to get it. And he shows me this whole time he's had Felly. I'm like, this stupid dog is just going to kick my butt every time I play against it.
This stupid dog.
Stupid dog.
Oh, I love that show.
So, lost to Esper Blink and was immediately out of it. Got to play for some pity ticks. Match 2, played against Abzan Lands. Had some sick lines with like turn 3, Mentor of the Meek into turn 4, Lingering Souls, make a monk, tack them all for the venerated Loxodon to put counters on everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Into rip heroic reinforcements off the top, just attacking for 27 or whatever on turn 5.
Sick.
Then match 3, lost to green-white tokens, also going wide, but had a lot of lifelink, which made me trying to beat him down very quickly. Difficult. Basically, the learning point was all my opponent's decks were much more synergistic than mine. I was just trying to attack. They were trying to do much more impressive things, which I didn't really come in kind of expecting to try and do that. Everett, like I said, was also in our pod. He drafted an unbelievably sick 4-color non-green Luris deck, which was just the most beautiful thing. Beat Teamer Control, beat the tokens player round 1 that I mentioned. Teamer Control / ramp game round 2. So he was winning in round 3 to make it for the top 8.
The top 8 draft.
Ended up losing
God,
to
what a
the...
killer.
I know.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
So not only is that a statement on how good of a limited player Everett
Absolutely.
is, because obviously we've all very much learned that.
Absolutely.
That is also a statement on how good the card Luris is.
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't matter what the cube is. Basically,
Yes.
that card is cracked as hell.
Did I mention Lurrus is going to be in my cube?
That card is so busted as hell.
I'll bring up another Pauper card here
my
real
big
quick. I got to watch him go turn one, fetch, surveil land, bin, sneaky snacker, turn
Yeah.
two, chart a course, bring it back.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sneaky snacker.
We're popping off.
we brought it
baby.
We brought it full circle back to some Pauper. at the end.
Unfortunately, even with the power of Cameron Birding, he didn't manage to win match 3 against the Sultai Graveyard deck with those cards I just mentioned, Ishkana and Mimeoplasm in it. So
Yeah,
it shows what
that-
I know.
Also,
Yeah.
Harvester of Mystery, Harvester of Mystery
Those
to like wrap
3
his
cards
board.
are insane
yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Harvester really got against a
So-
Lurrus deck.
you know.
Turns out, give next neg 2 to the entire board is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was the closest out of all of us to making the top 8 draft, but
Very impressive.
You
very
know,
very close.
we all I don't think anybody came away from the weekend feeling like they didn't play well, draft
Or have a
well,
good-
or have a
no.
good time.
No,
No,
I mean
I had a
honestly, like
blast.
I was very impressed by the level of play from everyone there. Like there were some
Absolutely.
there were some stone cold killers. There.
It was such a cool vibe because it's not like you go to an RC and a lot of or an RC or even an RCQ. It's just like a lot of vibes. Like people are there to win first and foremost, and like that comes across the table like that. And like your opponent might not be the most, not like they're rude or anything, but might not be the most friendly person on the planet. And like I tend to match whatever my opponent's vibes are. And so, like, and just so much, like, table banter at CubeCon and stuff. It was just, like, so much fun. But there still is that people want to win and try to make it into the top 128.
Yeah, everybody wants to win, but it was definitely a regular REL event. Like, people were having a good time.
Yeah.
But the banter was also great. Like just sitting across from like people who created a cube that you played in, getting to talk to them about it, or like while you're drafting, the cube creator comes over and is like, "Oh, how are you liking it? You know, like give me some feedback." That was really sweet.
So question on that is, did you guys actually get to play any cubes with the curator of the cube in the cube?
No.
I don't think that was the vibe because it'd be kind of like a little weird to be like, I'm at CubeCon, I'm going to play my own cube while there's just like 69 other cubes to play.
So with that said, I know some people like want to explain like enjoy their own cube with a group of people.
Yeah,
that
that's
they don't
true.
that they don't know, so they get a vibe.
But
or
they get like deck list pictures and everything too, which is nice.
Right.
okay,
So the
okay.
way that the event works is every time after you draft, you lay out the 45 cards or however many you drafted, snap a picture, and then do the same thing when you return the cards so that they're all, accounted for. But also there's the option to upload a deck photo, which most people try and do so that the cube creator after the event can see what kind of decks were drafted, what were people playing, what trophied. I got to talk to the Atomic Cube creator both after my prequel draft where I trophied and after the top 128 draft, and I had a little good conversation with him after both of those, just saying everything I loved about the cube. It was very fantastic gameplay, and got to chat with him a little bit and about what he said like usually does well, what we drafted, and so got to talk with a lot of cube creators throughout the weekend.
And just like to mention too, third year in a row, there has never been a single card stolen from a cube yet, which is just incredible.
Very impressive.
Like it's just very, very impressive. It's just like a ton of Magic players coming for like the love of cube or the love of limited and are just there to share that love of this very niche format that's just like growing and growing every year. And thankfully to CubeCon too, helping that get like a more visible platform, and the Lucky Paper crew and Uber Bear, like the Uber Bear podcast crew too, like those two podcasts keeping this format going too, which is great.
And I know if Thomas and I had not gone to DC, that is likely where we would have ended up as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the best
agree.
Magic event of the year.
Like to me, this is like the World Series of Limited. Like, yeah, it's like you can play in a limited open, like it's 100K or draft in the Pro Tour, but like
Maybe
honestly, like I feel like it's like one of the most skill testing things you can do to bounce from cube to cube to cube.
And even if you don't do good, it's so much fun. Versus if you fly to Vegas, get a Dustmorn sealed pool for
And,
$200,
just
and you
open a bunch of
Leyline,
land rares and like
cool.
Yeah, I mean, especially going across the whole weekend, drafting X amount of different cubes, and then just continuing to excel at each one of these different cubes. Like that's got to be a huge, huge weight on your shoulders, and has got to be like extremely rewarding if you are able to do well in each of these cubes.
Having the
well.
wherewithal to know that Thraben Inspector is busted in every cube.
I can confirm that Thraben is. I'm so sorry. I want to throw this out there because partly my podcast. Years ago, the host of another podcast said out loud that the registrar of the card Thraben Inspector should never be allowed to win a modern, at the time, PPTQ.
Who said this?
I will tell you later. But it was, but that lit a.
I think I know.
I will quote, lit a fire under my ass to win a PPTQ at the time, and I came so very near to do such. And I wanted to prove to that person that could be done.
Have you beat this person with Death and
I have
Taxes before?
never played this person. And
okay.
I would love to do such because I would think I would crush them. In any format that they want to, where that that archetype is an actual archetype.
I clearly thought this was Mason Clark.
This is not.
So,
Mason Clark.
but it is not Mason Clark.
No. Mason Clark had belief in me. This person did
good.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, y'all were like,
No,
in the
this
same
was a
circles
time.
at that time.
No, this was a time where Mason Clark had belief in me, and he would have thought I could win an event with Thraben Inspector. The person in which I'm referring to did not think that Thraben Inspector could win an event. But it's good to know that Thraben Inspector was good across every cube that it was drafted.
It was.
I
I had my
did
old
well-
Bird foil cube, and it was great.
I did well in every single cube where I got to draft a Thraben Inspector. I don't think there's a cube you could put me in and say, would you like to have Thraben Inspector and Flicker Wisps? And I would say no.
Reasonable. Both those cards are very good. Can confirm. Those cards are those cards.
This weekend,
those cards have continued to be vintage cube staples for however long one Thraben Inspector has been in the cube, and the entirety of the vintage cube, as far as I'm well aware.
This weekend, I came to terms with the fact that when it comes to cube, I have been hippo pilled.
Let's go!
So, Matt, Dan, are you two going to build a cube finally for our play group?
Yeah, this has got the creative juices flowing. I'm gonna put together like at least a 360. I have to think about it. But
Yeah. So many options. Matt, are you going to build a cube?
Yeah, I do technically have one already. I'm gonna dust it off. I'm gonna get it up to snuff a little bit and make sure it's ready.
That one cube?
Yeah.
That you mentioned about?
Yeah.
Are you going to make it like playable?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is it going to be like 8-person draftable?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Cool. We got to the airport super early, and so Matt and I got a Jun tuber, and Matt taught me how to Winchester draft because I usually grid draft my 2-person tubert, and so that was a ton of fun Winchester drafting, like just like the secret information. Like he doesn't know I got this Ragavan, and it was super rewarding to like get a mystery card and it be a Ragavan, and it was the first time I think ever I beat Matt in my own damn tuber, and it felt so good. And our game 3 came to me. We're both ripping lands, swinging 3 damage each across the board, but he's gonna win this race. And I ripped a Ragavan and I dashed it. Thank you, Rigel, for that Ragavan. Thank you, Rigel. So just amazing hangs, y'all. It was such a good time. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Matt. And
For
thanks,
sure.
Everett,
Dude,
I've already got my
me.
calendar blocked
Thank you
off for next
inviting
year.
us and like bringing up the idea and like.
Oh yeah, no. This was Cameron's passion project for the past like 6 months. He was like, I don't care what happens. I'm going to CubeCon and you're coming with me. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then I ended up.
Then you
did. I was like, yeah, all right, let's do
Yeah.
it. And this was the best Magic event of the year, hands down.
Yeah, I hemmed and hawed between doing this or going to Vegas and playing in the limited open, and boy, am I glad I went to CubeCon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Sick,
sick.
much
hear.
more enjoyable
And I got
time.
sick CubeCon earrings too. They're super dope.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're super
Oh,
cool.
you gotta show me.
And yeah, they're super dope. Just like big shout out to just like the CubeCon staff and stuff. I played against the social media manager and stuff there too, and they were like super cool and stuff. No, it was just a great time. Yeah, like I drafted with the Anthony, the host of the Uber Bear podcast, and he was super chill. He had the right idea. He had a backpack. He opened it. 0 magic cards, only beer. And, like,
Beautiful plan.
He was there.
Sounds
to
like my
game.
kind of individual.
Oh,
No,
man.
he was super cool. He's definitely a vibes base. He's like, I don't care how I do. I'm here to drink and
Cool.
play cubes.
CubeCon 2025.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a bag of gummies, baby.
Let's go.
There was a
Let's
somebody,
go.
Wait, dude. Oh yeah, one of the guys in the top, like the guy I played in the first round of the top 128, had to like the judge called him over and like he had to leave the table because his friend had had a bad edible, and he was just like he was like sitting
Oh
by
my
the table
God.
to the side, like freaking out.
Oh,
It's just
Like
like,
me in Atlanta, just like like he was having like a panic attack. That's wild. Shout out to all the judges too, because they like, especially like day 2, some of them worked like 14-hour days and stuff, and so just like huge shout out to the judges.
they
I know
crushed it.
Yeah, really really hard, especially Garrison, who is considered a Nashville local and just an amazing judge, very 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 knowledgeable, and he looked like he's always super bubbly when he's judging, but just like he seemed like he was one of the judges for my cubes, and he is just a blast to have as a judge. Just like super nice, super interactive, super talkative.
Yeah, huge shout out to Garrison.
Yeah. Garrison.
Always a fantastic judge to have at any event that I've ever played in. A+ would recommend.
Yeah, shout out to the coverage
time
team.
and time again.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to the coverage team. Like, they crushed it. I caught as much as I could catch of coverage from the event.
I cannot wait to
great.
watch. Oh my
yeah,
God.
oh yeah, it sounded
my
great,
God.
looked great. Everyone did an awesome job. Shout out to all of you folks. You really, really crushed it. Yeah,
Especially Ethan.
well, yes,
Especially Ethan. Very handsome man.
Special shout out to our friend Ethan,
and-
friend of the podcast.
I saw Niles running around all weekend doing like interviews with people and stuff too.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
was-
From what I understand, she
Yeah.
like pulled like all the strings.
yeah. So they're just insanely great weekend. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff about the weekend, but just the hangs were unbelievable. I can't like understate.
Yeah, again, I say the more this event goes on, the bigger it'll get. The more people will come. I'm sure. I know Tom. I assume Thomas and I will be there.
I'm gonna
next weekend. I think it's.
I was going to go last year. I had tickets, and then I had some shit hit the fan. And
I need to
had
talk
cancel.
to Steven at Game Night, the owner of Game Night, and see if we can get like a bluegrass, like 64 person Middle Tennessee cube
Grassroots.
event. Like,
Bluegrass.
What's-
Come and cube.
Dude, have you noticed I do that all the time? I say
Sorry.
hindsight's 50-50.
I know.
Here come the banjos.
Here come the band.
I take sayings, like say the word sayings I thought was sayings. Like I take sayings and I murder them. I just one black.
Sayings.
Yeah, I thought it was SAYNS or something like sayings.
Attaboy.
Yeah, I
We
take
love you.
sayings and I cast murder on them. I cast came back wrong on them.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. If you made it this far, holy hell.
Closing in
Special
on 245.
Special shout out to our editor, Thomas Gunn, sitting across the table from me.
Oh, they're gonna get a little message in the front that's like, "Hey, I didn't edit this too much."
Yeah.
Enjoy."
Yeah.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, no, so thanks, Thomas. There's just so much to talk about. It was super good. Hopefully this was enjoyable to listen to. We'll be back next week with our regular Pauper talk. Expect next year for another long cube recap episode. Maybe with 6 or 7 people instead of 5.
Oh boy.
Well, at minimum, Thomas and I will.
Yeah, we will have also
be
have
in.
gone. And,
Yeah.
Maybe we can design. Maybe we can work with Jay and expand his Pauper showcase tuber into a full
that
Pauper
would be
showcase.
I'll
Cute.
wholly admit, I didn't
submit it.
I did not even get to play Jay's Pauper Tuber.
Yeah.
But watching it be drafted was an absolute delight.
It's a showcase of the Pauper.
It was.
A showcase of the
I'm sorry. How old are you?
The Pauper format.
But
I need that clipped and isolated right now.
But watching Jay's Pauper Tuber be drafted was an absolute delight. It's just a showcase of the Pauper format.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah. That's an idea. That's an
Yeah.
idea. Maybe work with them and expand it. Maybe we can submit it for next year.
Maybe make a bigger 8-person cube. And,
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
The biggest win of this weekend was getting, I know like we have this big Team Tilt Discord of our friend group really in Nashville. And like we have like a cube section. We have like our regular cubers that consist of all 5 of us here plus some others. And like a lot of us will like get in on the cubes, but really just like sending in the deck pictures and everybody like the Discord talk being about the cube weekend was just great, and getting people to feel the FOMO of the weekend stuff. And getting Dan and getting Matt and
definitely
giving
felt
Guilt trip will make them come next
Yes,
year.
exactly. But like getting everybody to be like, man, I really want to build a cube. Like the more cubes in our play group, the better.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
I know this weekend kind of inspired me to put together the vintage cube for the group to have.
Heck yeah.
I'm super psyched for that.
Yeah, because I definitely have some very formulated thoughts on the vintage cube, and I quote Matthew Sentilles. He says, "In Hippo we trust." on
That we
how,
do.
on how to build the vintage cube. So I'm excited to get that done.
Are you going to include Thraben Inspector?
Well, of course.
I'm there.
TBD on that.
Third Inspector is an auto include.
What about
vintage.
Novice Inspector?
Remains to be seen. Third
All
Inspector
right.
is the clue, the superior one.
Yes. Shall we get out of here?
But
Let's do it.
this has been a long episode, so
I bet Hippo wants to go home.
I sure do.
We'd all like to go home.
If you have any
Yes.
questions to us, cube related, I would gladly answer cube related questions.
As all of us would.
Or Pauper related, as that is our specialty. You can go and send those to us at Common Ground MTG Podcast.
Nope.
commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com.
There it
Sorry,
is.
long episode. That's in the description, as well as a link to 3 of our Twitter bios, unless it's Dan or Matthew.
And
LOL, no.
and we'll include a link to every cube that we mentioned, so you can go through and look at all the cards
yes.
we talked about.
I
Because there's
will-
a lot of cards that we talked about that our Pauper listeners may not be familiar
Yes,
with.
so go through those cubes, find those cards, listen to them. Yes, that is a great idea. I will do that. when I
Because
upload
this
the
episode-
I'll also shout that out in the little
Yes.
intro thing as well.
Yeah, there will be a lot of naming of cards. Hopefully, don't look them up as you're driving.
All right, Austin.
Matt, Dan, any plugs you want to thing? Anything you want to plug? You want to plug the owlbear?
What? No.
All right,
No, thanks for being on the
plugs?
show, you guys.
No plugs.
No.
Oh, okay, that's great.
I don't have a Twitter, and that is very much on
Dude,
purpose.
don't.
Yes.
If you get a Twitter,
Same.
Good plan.
if you get a Twitter, you will become the Magic Discourse of that weekend. Don't do it. It's not worth
he
it.
speaks
Please
from
don't seek me
experience.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Peace out.
Thanks, everyone.
Later, skaters.
Cube's the best.